they won't closer before they go sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body.
Until they move closer before they go sabi.
Ọ̀kìn lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, kìnìún ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó torí kodò bí àdán, ọ̀pẹ̀jẹ̀ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa. Ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè gbódúdú wa ga.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wa.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe kiri. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀. Ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé. Ilẹ̀ ìlérí, àwa lè gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé. Ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ìgbà.
Koiki Media, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ. Kásá, ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wà káyé kó bá yín jẹ. À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ. News and sports, ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koiki Media, ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájú mọ̀ mi. Má bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata wọn. À ń gbádùn rẹ̀, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi. Ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò ọ̀tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé máa dé máa dé. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ máa wọ̀ máa wọ̀ o. Ìgbó máa wọ̀ lájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀. Àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní bọ́ra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koiki Media, sáwa ní bàbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ní bàbá. Àdáńtọ́, àtúnpèrè gidi. Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o. Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn. Ikú tí ó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀. We bring you one closer to your doorstep. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ o, tó ń kan kí oko lára ni. Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe. Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ni bàbá o. Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o. Odùduwà la gbé dání, òtítọ́ la gbé dání. Àbí sọ̀dálẹ̀, àbí sódìkẹta. Àdúró tán, àtúnpèrègèdè. Koiki Media, we bring you one closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media is around. Is around, oh. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kálẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹgbẹ́ tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kálẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹgbẹ́ tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo. Koiki Media is around. Koiki Media is around. Ẹ bá wá sá nílẹ̀ yìí. tiwọn. Ilé wa yàtọ̀ sí tiwọn. Àwọn làgbà ń ṣọ́ra dúró o.
Wow, mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ káalẹ́ níbi tí ẹ bá ti ń darapọ̀ tí ẹ ti ń wò wá. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan pé ṣé àlàáfíà ni mo bá yín. From wherever you are watching, I say good evening and welcome to the live transmission. Gbogbo àná la rí bó ṣe ń lọ ní gbogbo àgbáyé. Ayé gan àrójútu ẹ̀ mọ́ báyìí. Things are changing and they are changing very, very fast. Especially those of us that are following what is going on in Russia. Most of my conversation in Raleigh is not to do with Yoruba nation. It's going to do with the Russia and what is going on that side. But it might touch some bit and bit around Yoruba nation. But ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ lọ wo topic tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí so that ẹ rí pé ìmúra mi bí tàwọn ti sójà ni torí ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú Russia. There's a lot going on in the last 24 hours. There's a lot going on. So much is going on. A lot is going on. And we will try and see how we can do some kind of justice around it. So, mo kí wa pé krole níbi tí olúkálùkù wa bá wà tí a ti ń ṣayé. Ibi kan lèmi náà wà tèmi náà ti ń ṣayé tèmi. Ayé dẹ̀ ń lọ bó ṣe jẹ́ kó lọ without any delay. Mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà. And I welcome you all to the program. There is a lot going on in Russia as we speak right now. Millions of things is going on. I will find it, but the heat is too much. Heat is too much. So I try to manage it. Oru yẹn pọ̀ gan. Kò easy rárá. Atẹ́gùn ò dẹ̀ fẹ́. A ti ṣí gbogbo window. Atẹ́gùn refuse láti wọlé àwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Ayé ìgànsẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀gan it just get as it be. Russia àti Ukraine, Wargner Group. Àwọn ọlọ́mọ tó ń pè ní Wargner Group. We're going to talk about them and we're going to talk about a lot of other things as well. Like I said, my broadcast tonight is focused on Russia, Wargner Group, and the world as well. Everybody has different view. Èmi náà ti gbọ́ so much within the last, almost the whole day. Kó tó di pé mo sùn lọ, mo tún jí láàrin méjì. So I've been following the situation just as, like I always say, this is the platform that can break things down for understanding wa. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan náà? Àwọn wo ló ń pè ní Wargner Group? They are mercenaries. Gbogbo ìlú ló ní machinery tiẹ̀. Gbogbo ìlú ló ní machinery tọ̀dọ̀ tiẹ̀. But machinery kan làwọn náà jẹ́ tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún Russia. A máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa wọn. Aago 8 ló ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ lù ní London, England precisely, níbi tí mo ti ń broadcast. Mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa. In tó bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láyé, ó ní meaning. Bí wọ́n bá ṣe ń wò, ojú tí wọ́n fi ń wò, ó yàtọ̀ sójú tí ẹlòmíì náà fi ń wò. Ojú tí Áfíríkà fi ń wò, ó yàtọ̀ sójú tí Europe fi ń wò. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin lólùfẹ́ wa tẹ́tí ń wọlé lọ́tùn lósì. Mo kí yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé káàbọ̀ sórí ètò títí rọ̀lẹ́. Mo kí Koiki Media Team tó broadcast láti Ọ̀fà. tó bá ti délé á kù díẹ̀ tó bá yẹ pé ibi tí Nàìjíríà tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ journey yẹn kò yẹ kó take wọn ní few hours but wọ́n ti fún mi ní signal pé àwọn ìtì ìtẹ̀rántí mú aago mi. My God. Our journalists are like anyway, mama monitor aago tó wà lórí laptop. So hopefully they'll be back. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Ọmọbọ́lájí Abdullahi àwọn táwa lórí Twitter nìyẹn. There's a lot, like I said, that is going on. I play different videos to Mama J voice and however different perspective. Kí làwọn West ń sọ, kí làwọn East ń sọ, kí làwọn Arab ń sọ. Olúkálùkù ló ń sọ different views lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn Wargner. Bí wọ́n ṣe ń rí ó yàtọ̀ sí báwọn ṣe ń rí o. Bí Africa ṣe ń rí ó yàtọ̀ sí bí anybody náà ṣe ń rí. Olúkálùkù ló ní bó ṣe ń wò. Ọ̀nà tí wọ́n fi ń wò ó máa yàtọ̀ díẹ̀ sí ọ̀nà tí àwọn other places náà fi ń wò. So but in tó ṣe kókó tó ṣe pàtàkì níbẹ̀ ni pé rẹ́rẹ́ fẹ́ rún ọ̀nà tó fẹ́ gbàrún lolúkálùkù ìtì mọ̀ báyìí. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹyìn ó likely pé rẹ́rẹ́ máa rún. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ àwọn wo ni wọ́n ń pè ní mo kí yín ní MixLR. Ilé òtẹ́ kí ló dé tí kò ibi mo ti yọ arú yìí kúrò. Mo kí Mr. Clement, mo kí mọ́mí wa Ruth, mo kí Abdullahi, mo kí Mr. Boye. Ayé tá ń gbé nísìn alágbára ló ń jẹun ta. Russia alágbára ṣì ni. Àfẹn tó bá fi kú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ. America gan mọ̀. China gan sọ fún America pé ẹ jáwọ́ kúrò nídìí ràtìràtì. The world is changing. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi one man to more. Bí ṣe sọ conversation ta lẹ́yìn kò bọ́ sórí Yorùbá nation. Focus mi ní Russia. Kí ni view tẹ̀yìn? Torí tó bá ń lọ láyé tẹ́ bá tẹ́tí kẹ́ tètè mọ̀. Kó má di pé ńgbà tó gún yẹn bá lọ jà yín. Mo kí Akin Games. Comrade Plan B ò ṣe okú gbogbo gbà. Àárọ̀ yìí mo mọ̀ pé mo switch yín sí Ọ̀fà. So audio tèmi ló ń jáde. But mo pull it down. Mo dẹ̀ start all over again. Torí agbọ́dọ̀ máa ká as long as tí n bá ti sí nínú ilé nìkan ni. Ní àwọn kan máa pè wá o. Torí nígbà tá a bá wà lórí program bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn máa wá wàhálà. And people does that all the time. Stupid. Ọmọ pé yàn wá online. So kí lẹ̀ ń pè fún? Tẹ́ bá wá stupid. Nítorí pé ní nọ́mbà lọ́wọ́. Ṣé nọ́mbà gbogbo ilẹ̀ ní nọ́mbà Délé àbí Jídé Òtútọ́jú? Ṣé gbogbo ilẹ̀ ní nọ́mbà Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù lọ́wọ́? Ṣé ẹ fi pé anybody ló lè pè Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù? Mo kí ń jàre yá wa Esther. Ẹ kọ́ máa pè. Bàbá mi Akínláàdé mo kí ń jàre. Ifeoma, how are you? Again, the broadcast is not going to focus in Yoruba because of my different target audience. Because I do have listeners that are non-Yorubas, not even Nigerians that listen to me. Like I say, the focus tonight is got nothing to do with Yoruba nation. It's just a general conversation around what is actually going on presently as we speak right now in Russia. And what does it mean to a layman? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram, ẹni láti jẹ́ kí mọ̀, especially on Koiki Media because call kan ti wá sórí ibẹ̀ nísìn. So I hope it has not disturbed you. Babatunde Mokin, Mr. Yawad. I don't know whether it's a name, is a male or female, but any Bishaman Kiwon word, they don't respond. So I just say whoever is there, Dara Joe could be a female or male. But shout out to everyone. Anyway. Moki Aziz, ni Miami. Ijaya, my brother, ohun yẹn nìyẹn. Mo ti tọ́nà torí pé heat yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. So bá tún tọ́nà mọ́ ilé. Tí bá dẹ̀ tán fan, ó máa blow lẹ́yìn. It máa affect the broadcasting a little bit. She like outfit me. She like it. New outfit. See, that's it. Our big Koiki le níwájú báyìí. Koiki Media bring. So the world that I've gbé wá fún yín nísìn is coming from Ukraine stroke Russia. That's why it's called Koiki Media bringing the world. You rí pé ṣòkòtò mi gan. Àwa sójà kékeré. Àwa sójà kékeré. Kékeré. Sójà kékeré. Kí ló ń pa Juliet tó sìn lẹ́rìn? Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Pé báwo ló ṣe ń lọ lórí ládùúgbò yín. Mama King is just, and you can call in as well. So it's an interactive program. So Bishop Adesina Mokin, but I will be talking more about kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Russia. Wọ́n ní Yakogi ní attention, left, right, ìyẹn tún lọ right báyìí. Great Yoruba Nation lórí Instagram Mokin. Tẹ́ bá ti jẹ́ kí n tètè mọ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni Mr. Joe. Now mo ti mọ̀ pé ọkùnrin ló wà behind it because Dara yẹn ó fẹ́ jorúkọ obìnrin, so mo máa mix up and I appreciate that you respond. Robot kọ́ ni gbogbo yín. Ìyàtọ̀ tó kọ̀ wá for now ni pé a ríra wa physically but a lè feel ara wa. That is the beauty of the technology. I just learned Putin flare Moscow. Oríṣiríṣi rumor, propaganda. Iṣẹ́ tí media máa ń ṣe jù nìyẹn. Tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà, ṣé Joe Biden máa sá lọ? Ó possible. Ó lè wà lórí Air Force, American Air Force. Ó lè wà on the air for a very long time. Tó dẹ̀ máa communicate pẹ̀lú gbogbo tó lọ nínú America. But there's a lot of propaganda going on. Thank you so much for responding, Babawa Dare Joe. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Kì í ṣe ghost. A lè má ríra wa lóòótọ́, but we can feel each other, especially when ìyẹn làwọn èèyàn ṣe máa tábà tán kámẹ́rà pé Koiki kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ojú lọ́rọ̀ wà. 8F9 team. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Yoruba kid, how you doing? Like I said, the focus is more of Russia. But kò sí bá ife sọ̀rọ̀ níbi táwa tá à ń ṣe Yoruba nation. A máa link ẹ̀ mọ́ a little bit around the Yoruba nation conversation. Àwọn wo ló ń pè ní Wargner group? Wargner group, according to Wikipedia, into Wikipedia and so for me, the Wargner group, Russia, officially known as PMC Wargner, is a private military company. Àwọn máa ń jagun ta ni. Ajagun ta ni wọ́n. Mr. Sharif Odin, good evening and welcome to the live transmission. Like I said, this is a live program on Koiki Media as I'm reviewing what we can call the Yoruba, the Russia. Thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde. I cite your comment there as well on the IG. We call it the IG, just the abbreviation. So let's move safely with the program. Like I said, it will be more of English and maybe broken English. And sometimes I call my Yoruba Silani Meji so that we can carry as many people along. The Wagner Group, as we know them, are private military companies. So that literally means that there are some people that are set up to go and fight anywhere that is fight, as long as they can get paid. But do not pay them with this nonsense. You know, yesterday I was looking for this Naira note. This is 1,000 Naira. As of today, the exchange rate to Nigeria is now almost 1,000 Naira to a pound. It's 995 Naira. So literally 550 kobo left as of today. But these guys that we are talking about do not take Naira. I might switch on the light a little bit. And then later on we might switch on the other light as well. These guys that we are talking about, they are called private contractor, private military. They are ex-military guys that have fought for different countries around the world. And as long as you have the dollar, this is what they deal with. dollar. I have about $4 here, but if you're going to get these kind of guys, you're going to be paying them. Mommy or Grandma Duke Bagbola, good evening, Mommy, and welcome to the live program. Mr. Koiki, please, when Baba Sunday Igboho is going back to Nigeria, there's nothing of such at the moment. I've released a statement on that. Maybe you missed it, Mr. Wale08. Igboho does not need to be in Nigeria. They need to lift the embargo so that he can travel to other countries that is much more better than Nigeria. He has an embargo that the government can release. That's all I can say. So, and I'm sure you all know the reason why it could not travel is because the DSS during Buhari regime put out a memo that it should be stopped, which Benin Republic recognized that memo but refused to release him to government of Nigeria, which is something very great because Benin is still a country that respects the rule of law. So Igboho is not going to Nigeria as at now. He doesn't need to be in Nigeria. He needs to go to Germany. Just like your government officials are traveling even when they are sick. So why should he be left in there in Benin Republic? What is in Nigeria? There's nothing in Nigeria. Okay? There's nothing literally in Nigeria. All he needs is for him to travel to anywhere he wants to go apart from Nigeria. But Nigerian government needs to release that embargo. They need to come out and say, Igboho is no longer wanted. It's not that people should go and be begging for Igboho. That is not the right way. That is not the proper way in terms of Igboho hasn't committed a crime. Okay? So, I hope that message is clear, Mr. Wale08. And you can also throw in your question as well. There's nothing wrong in that. You know, even though it might be away from my discussion, but I still need to answer you to clarify that. So Igboho doesn't need to come to Nigeria. He doesn't need to. At the appropriate time, Igboho will be in Nigeria, and that will literally mean that he will leave as he wants to at any point of time. But for now, he needs to go and see his own family outside Benin Republic. That's all you need to know. So telling us that Igboho should come to Nigeria is not the right thing. I think somebody wants to join us on Instagram. Let's see if I can bring that person in. So, as I'm discussing, you can join us on Instagram if you want to. I will bring you in if you're cool with that. So, thank you so much, Mr. Wale. At the appropriate time, Igboho will be in Nigeria. Bola Tinubu was out of Nigeria for a while. How long do you think Bola Tinubu was away from Nigeria when Abacha wanted to kill him? Bola Tinubu is en route to London. I don't know whether the Nigerian Air Force have landed, but information according to NTA says Bola Tinubu is flying from France to London for a private meeting. That's all we know. So all I can say is we pray that Bola Tinubu will sit back, reflect back at the appropriate time, and work out the modality between Igboho and also Nnamdi Kanu. Let's see if the person that is there, you know, I don't know where the person is, but it's... Hello? Hello? Oh my God.
Hello.
Ibola, ṣé Nigeria lẹ́wà, mo ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀, gbogbo ẹ̀ ti dúdú tókótókó. Ṣé generator yẹn ló ń pariwo báyìí? Á bèsè lédè máa rè. Hello? Shit. All right, that's the reason why we don't take calls. Please, how much is the cost of dollar to naira? I wouldn't know because I'm not in US, but I will probably say between 800, because if pound sterling is always 9.95, that is the exchange rate today from London. If I was going to send money that I don't have, it would literally cost me around that price. Somebody wants to join us again from Facebook. Let's bring them in. As long as they can say what they want to say, and they will then move on. We'll still go back to Wargner. Like I say, the focus tonight is more about Russia and the current state of things. And the development is moving very fast. Are we going to see any Hello. Hello. All right. It seems people are just, you know, enjoying this. Send request, you know. All right. I won't take any more requests because the first two 850 naira to $1 direct from the bank, according to Bishop Adeshino. That is in Nigeria. The price might be different from US. Lots US, you might be looking at roughly around probably 870, 880. But until America might confirm it. So let's come back to the Wagner Group. So the Wagner Group, as we know them, they're dressed like these. They are fully kitted. They are well trained, fully trained guys that have been working for one country as military guys, snipers, aircraft pilots, different things that they've done. But some of them, because they have injuries, the military do have a lot of injuries, and they end up becoming what they called ajagunta, private contractors. They fight for not your naira, because naira is worthless. But if you're ready to pay them billions of dollars, these guys will take on any job. It doesn't matter which country. They will fight in that country. And they will fight any military guys. And they know the trick. But why should they turn against Russia has been the question in the last going to dollar is 785. Like I said, it will all vary, but the most important thing is that pound is 9.95 from London. By the end of this month, I'll be saying £1 is equivalent to 1,000 naira. So for every time you have naira in your bank account in Nigeria, the value goes down every single second. Bola Tinubu needs a lot of these to fix the economy of Nigeria. It needs trillions of these, but we come back to that later. Bishop said you better go and save your money in the Ruba so that your money doesn't become like a tissue paper. I think I have a tissue paper here. So very soon, that naira that you have with you will be tissue paper that I'll be using to clean my nose. I can't use this one. It's a little bit stink because I don't like holding the money when I come to Nigeria. It's too dirty for me. I don't hold it. I don't. What if you see Brad? What if you see this? After to buy it to Magba, mon touch in Nigeria. No. Tibare touch him go for me. Very, very dirty, stinking money. That will be your naira very soon. I know you don't want to hear that. You know, your naira is going to be like that. It's worth less. It's worth nothing than tissue paper. And I'm not joking. As of today, Bubuntoku to Mafi £1 is just less than 50 kobo. Mrs. Annie Odua, welcome to the program. So let's move swiftly. From the Emirate, 1 naira is 209 naira Emirate. You better go and save your money to something else. If not, if you have 10 million naira and you sit in the account, it will just keep going down. One day you just wake up, you realize that you have 8 million. Ew, you have small attack. The other day you wake up again, you realize that you lost another 1 million. Because the dollar is killing. Nigeria use dollar for transaction, even though that's another fraud. We might talk about that later. So Wargner, known as PMC, is called a private company or a private military and security company, PMSC. They are machinery organization. If you do not know what is machinery, I'm sorry, you better go and find out. It's a private company providing armed combat, not the security door that a lot of my brothers, Igbo and the Yoruba, they do in London. They'll sit by the door. 13 hours, 14 hours. Not easy, man. No, we're not talking about those kind of, Omobola about my brother. Shout out to you, sir. The focus tonight is more about what is going on in Russia. That's why I dress like this. So I don't want you to turn it into anything. It's just the normal outfit here. It doesn't mean anything to me. And I have different ones that can change at any time if I want to. Especially there are new deliveries. You get me? Yeah, so that's why I have to put it on. I feel cool. And today, since I'm talking about something that has got to do with military operation that is going on in Russia, as we speak right now, I think putting this on justify. What do you think? Do you like it? Should I go like this? I think for now I should go like this. So I'm your general explaining what is going on in Russia and the Wagner group. Shout out to my beautiful mother and to my wives and to my children and to the extended family and the immediate family. So you have the extended and you have the all the way in Israel. Wow, interesting. There's a lot of tension in Israel as well. And that tension is not going anywhere yet. Now, what could have led to this Wagner group leader deciding that he's going to put a standoff between himself and the Russia government? What do you think could be the reason? What could be the reason? So let's see if I can get what is going on with this my other laptop so that we can just watch. They have a leader. The guy just took Bakhmut on behalf of Russia just less than a month ago. 9 minutes, Russia coup latest, Wagner boss turns back troops to avoid bloodshed. That is the latest as we speak right now, coming from the Telegraph. As we speak right now, the latest Assad. We are turning back, say, Prigozhin. He wants to go and fight inside Russia. Oh my God. I don't know. Aziz, shout out to you and welcome to the live transmission all the way in Miami, my brother. And thank you so much. Let me first get the video of the guy that is leading the Wagner group. Putin have spoken very tough. That is the president that says, whatever you are thinking, we will go after every single one of you. Life might be lost, but I don't think Putin will sit back and allow Wagner to threaten Russia. I don't know. Maybe your views and my views will be different. Happy birthday to somebody. Say, I am 60 years old today, Mrs. Rebecca Town. You're welcome, and we appreciate your birthday. Long life and prosperity, and to those celebrating their birthday in the month of June. So let me first, our own media here, they will give you a different perspective. So always remember that media, the job of the media is to change the narrative. And they can change the narrative to suit whatever and however, especially media from the West. So when I say West, that means UK, America, Canada. Especially there's a lot of confrontation going on already between Russia and Ukraine. We are not here to side on anybody. We are just here to discuss the conversation. As long as everybody understands that I want to get the video of the Wagner chief. There's a lot of video out there. Let's see this one from the CNN. At least just he's speaking his language, so we might not even understand what the hell he's talking about because it did sorrow. But let's watch it. Once again, a very good evening and welcome.
Been a well-known mercenary leader around the world. Now, Yevgeny Prigozhin is a wanted man in Russia as well. His often merciless group of fighters is now pitted against the Russian military leadership, and Prigozhin is suddenly Moscow's public enemy number one. Vladimir Putin calling for Prigozhin's group to lay down their arms.
All those who deliberately chose the path of treachery, who prepared an armed mutiny, who chose the path of blackmail and terrorist methods will face inevitable punishment and will answer both to the law and to our people.
He may now be something of a nemesis to Vladimir Putin, but it was his decades-long relationship with the Russian president that allowed Prigozhin to establish his own militia, the Wagner Group. Wagner served as a private army, doing controversial jobs that often not even Russia's military could do. Prigozhin, a former prisoner himself and self-styled hard man from St. Petersburg, used Wagner to operate around the world. CNN has tracked Wagner mercenaries to the Central African Republic, Sudan, Libya, Mozambique, Ukraine, and to Syria.
Okay.
Along the way, Prigozhin enriched himself. Rights groups have accused Wagner of horrific violence, like this of Wagner fighters allegedly smashing the feet and hands of a Syrian prisoner with a sledgehammer in 2017. The man reportedly died after his ordeal. The images are incredibly disturbing, like so many others attributed to his group. For many years, Prigozhin denied the existence of Wagner, its work best done in secret. A master of myth-making, it was Prigozhin and Wagner who set up the notorious Russian troll farm used to spread disinformation around the 2016 U.S. presidential election. But when his fighters took to the battlefield in eastern Ukraine and began winning battles, Prigozhin seemed to want the spotlight.
The Bakhmut operation began on October 8, 2022, in order to give the battered Russian army an opportunity to recover. Our guys stormed this city for 224 days. There were only Wagner private forces here.
His tactics included flinging poorly armed and poorly trained troops into the so-called meat grinder of war in Ukraine's east, suffering a shocking number of casualties in an attempt to overwhelm defenses. Prigozhin rubbed his victories in the face of Russia's flailing Defense Department, venting his fury at the haphazardness and ill planning of Russia's illegal invasion, and chastising the Russian top brass, mocking Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu.
Let's leave it for now. Once again, a very good evening and welcome. The conversation is focused around the ongoing, and like I said, I've been on the online. How can I join Wargner Group? I think they have a Telegram page and they have a website. I'm sure you could check it out. You know, I don't know what are the requirements. But it's interesting to know that in 2023, you can literally just hire certain group of people and they can fight on your behalf as long as you have the money, especially, as that report was saying there. Every country has their own different machineries. It's just that the West will push a narrative to us, quote and unquote. Everybody knows those behind the Boko Haram. Everybody knows those behind the Mujahideen, or whatever they're called. Everybody knows those who are behind the ISIS, the Al-Qaeda. You could go back to the source. Everybody knows, even if I don't tell you. And you don't have to ask me, Koiki, just tell us. You'll be stupid to be asking me to tell you. You know that. Everybody knows the reason and agenda behind each of these creation of different elements. So that when things goes wrong, nobody point and say, hey, this country is behind it. And that is why today, what is going on as we speak right now in these latest confrontation between 5 minutes ago, so let me come to BBC, What is BBC saying? BBC, the boss of the Russia Wagner group has said on his Telegram channel that he has agreed to stop the advancement of his troops towards Moscow. It will be bloody. Oh yes, you can call in as long as our focus remain on the discussion. The line is open for calling. That's fine. I don't want to be diverted. We focus on the message here. Commissioner want to say the Wagner boss is a dead man walking. You want to go and invade Russia? I don't know what he's chopping. I don't know which Babalawo is making the ogun for him. Olamide Aliu, good evening and welcome to the program. The conversation tonight is focused on the current development going on in Russia. But the latest news coming out as we speak right now in the Wargner Telegram channel that he has agreed to stop the advancement of his troops towards Moscow. In a surprise move, Yevgeny Prigozhin said his fighters were returning to field camps in Ukraine and did not want to spill Russian blood. In response, President Vladimir Putin had pledged to punish those who had betrayed Russia. The Wagner Group, like I said earlier, is a private arm of mercenaries that has been fighting alongside the regular Russian army in Ukraine. Don't be deceived. Every country has their own mercenaries. And every one of them are all over the world. That is why they have their military base very inside your territory. The reason why, good evening, Tony Ages, Wagner boss is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Putin. Let me say this clearly. Around the world, my map is not here, it's downstairs. Every country tries to have their military base in a country so that when things happen, boom, they have at least about as at last week I've been watching a lot of videos. I come across a particular channel on YouTube. You know, every day you come across different things, and this particular channel was telling me that 5,000 American troops have been moved closer to, I think, Latvia. Let's take the caller that is coming through. Hello, caller.
Thank you very much, Koiki. In a short while, you just put an answer to what I actually even want to say, but we just buttress a little. Everybody knows the impact of the West against the East development. The rivalry is what is putting Africa in problem. Africa is just the battle or the marketplace. Now, the Wargner will stop. He will stop because they've talked to him. Because it's going to be bloody as it is. But the opponent of Russia, which is the West, have seen the loophole from the Wargner. So, because they've seen the battle in Ukraine that Russia is winning. And all the propaganda of Ukraine before that, hey, we are beating Russia, we are doing Ukraine now crying that now Russia is winning. So the only thing they can do, because they can vividly come into the war, it will be the war will escalate, it will become a world war, is to look for warlord among Russia herself, and they are able to succeed in getting the Wagner group
àwọn ni owó gbẹ̀ngbẹ̀m ni owó ti kọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ni. That's how he could find any excuse against the government of his Russia. Maybe he can say that they are spending Russia money on unnecessary war or reasonable war. They can't take it and decided to face the army of the country. He has a capacity. He has war is 50-50. So, and because the battleground now is going to be within Russia itself, it's not outside the country. It's within Russia itself. Russia itself knows that it's going to lose. So, Wagner don't have little to lose. When he sees that they are losing a lot, which Russia itself will lose a lot, he will later escape and run to the country that send him a message for asylum and be living his life there. So in war is 50-50. And that especially the person who want to propagate the law will see that he have nothing to lose before he go ahead. So it is the work of the enemy of Russia. But thank God that some Russians leaders have been able to speak to him, the Wargner leader, and he has been able to agree and stop. So it is the process of money. Everything is money. It's money changing hand. It's money changing hand. And that we tell Putin that he need to quickly round off the assignment he's doing on Ukraine so that his enemy will not enter into his house from the back. Thank you. And it's a lesson for Nigeria. It's a big lesson. And Yoruba is sleeping. Forget all this noise about Yoruba nation. Yoruba is sleeping. And Yoruba is really sleeping. And I won't say more than that. But what we know is that Nigeria is a keg on gunpowder. Because if Yoruba says we're not going to fight, the Igbos are ready to fight. And the time they will fight, they won't wait for a beg, hold on for us. They will not, it will just start like a time bomb, unexpectedly, and it has started. And once it started, gbogbo àwọn tó ṣì ń bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ má dogunlẹ̀ yìí tó ń kọ́ hàn nírọ̀mọ́ Yorùbá àbẹ́ anybody blame or Babakitoye or Igboho blame for gbọ́ndógunlẹ̀. At that time, there is nobody to blame. You won't see anybody to point to. So gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ń bẹ̀ wọ́n wípé ó dàbí ọkọ̀ Noah ni ẹ wá wọkọ̀ wàhálà ń bọ̀ ẹ wá wọkọ̀. People are enjoying their life, they don't listen. So but when the flood came, wọ́n sáré lọ bá ọkọ̀ yẹn o ilẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan ó ti tì. There is no chance for, because if they open the door themselves, they themselves will perish. So everybody mama sasala for me at that time and leave. So pray that our people will be reasonable and know that Nigeria is not a country, and they will prepare ahead. Thank you.
I'm going to let you come back later, and we're going to discuss about these Naira and the dollar. In another 20 minutes, we will call back again, because we need to analyze what is going on with our Naira. Should we be concerned, and where should we be preparing to maybe save our money? If not, our money will be devalued. So we're going to come back to that later in the next 20 minutes. Thank you so much. And that is we call him our bishop, but he's one of our analysts. I didn't realize that we didn't start the Koiki Media. Must be, I cite you, my brother. Keep up the good work. Don't be intimidated. I understand there's a lot of pressure on what we are doing, but we are born to be able to sustain an old pressure. Mukiyawa Sekina Maomi and the rest of you that have joined us. Let us hold fast, steadfast. Forget about, I don't talk about a lot of things that is irrelevant. I talk about things from international perspective, but Mas B and the rest of our media, they help us to do the breakdown. Lamidi Kamaluddin, thank you so much. Okay, it seems there's another call coming through. There's a lot to discuss. Yes, this is another good commentator that will tell us something. I will give you just 10 minutes. I know you would like to talk too much, but 10 minutes is the max so that we don't have to hold. Go ahead and you have your 10 minutes as we speak right now. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Koiki. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate what the bishop said. But in Cotton Shelley, nowadays, we have to be vigilant.
Okay.
We have to be vigilant. Now, the Wargner group is working for Russian government.
Okay.
We know that.
Okay.
Why will Russian group, Wagner group, now go against Russia? Want to, take part of Moscow? Because number one, let's see one thing. Because something I always say, okay. I like to know the way the white people they operate. Okay, we have to understand the way they operate. If our do that is a mistake, because we believe on the white people so much, and this is what they call Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is just like when a man took a girl of 10 years old. I've been raping this girl since when she was 10 years old. But this man will buy food, buy everything for this girl. Okay? When the time comes for this girl when she's about 19, 20, okay, to find a way that, she will say, no. When people want God to know that this man has been raping her, you will say, no. Now the man is taking care of her. That is the Stockholm syndrome that the black race we are into. Everything that we want to say, it's the white people that came and give us Christianity. It's the white people we run to when we need ammunition. It's the white people we run to when we want education. It's the white people we run to if anything. So we don't see the evil, the game the white people are playing with us. Okay? Because of everything we think we are getting from the so-called white race, we believe that, okay, these are the savior. These people see their nation, see everything work well, see the way but God said, look, we will not enjoy anything until when we understand who we are. So now, let me go to Wargner. Okay? Wargner, about 2 months ago, I know I've just sent you some other YouTube videos. About 2 months ago, I sent you one. It's similar to what now they are doing now. When the Wargner, when they conquer in Bakhmut, about 2 months ago, they said some other soldiers from the Wargner, they don't know how they come. They want to take part of Russia. That they have ammunition, they have guns. But who are these soldiers? But today, they say, okay, yeah, the Wargner group want to take, they are marching to Moscow. I will tell you, it's a clue. And it's a code. What is going on is, I've sent this message several times. Russia, represents the black race. Ukraine represents United Kingdom, the whole white race. That is the game. But they have to play it this way because it's going to the book of Ezekiel chapter 38. This way it's going. God, Magog, and Magog. God is Russia. Magog is Ukraine. Okay? So what they are trying to do is, because they know the liberation of the black race is about to come. If you see about 7 months ago, what is happening 7 months ago? The war in Ukraine is whether it go to the east, when it comes from the east, it will go to the west. Later they will say, oh, they are going to, war is in the east again. All this time was during the time when there was what is going on in eastern Nigeria. And when there was all these protests going on in the west. So this is what they are just using to do their rituals. It's a message they are passing, which our people doesn't know. That ever since they finished the election at Tinubu won, they're not talking about the west of Ukraine anymore. Now they concentrate on the east of Ukraine, Bakhmut, which is the Igbo. What they were doing today is the Biafra. This is the target. The Wargner group they are talking about that want to take over is their machinery. Okay? And we know they are not talking about Sudan anymore. Why are they not talking about Sudan? Because they've already planted the war there in Sudan. They've already planted the machinery there in Sudan. You know, because it's a way to bring the war down to close to the door of Nigeria. This all just their game. They've already had everything in place. But however, they are afraid. They are afraid. This is why you see what happened in a few days. Now they said the Titanic submarine sank. It is a code, it's a ritual. They said in the Amazon, some children 40 days in Amazon. It's a ritual. Now they said Chinese balloon over America is a ritual, is a UFO. Because they're doing a lot of different rituals. Because now they are afraid to pound on the Igbos or the Yorubas. But what they want to do on the Yorubas is that they want to get us in a way that we are asleep. Okay? This is what they want to do on the Yoruba. More is a biological warfare and psychological warfare they want to use on the Yorubas. Now Bill Gates, where is it? Bill Gates came to what? To meet Chinumbu for discussion about health purposes in Africa. Wherever Bill Gates goes to, people dies. We know what Bill Gates did in Kenya. More than 25,000 women cannot have children today. We know a lot of things there. But we do can copy and go first. But nobody not Russia, this thing. If okay, I want to ask a question. How many days or how many months did the Europeans and the Americans, the British, they finished Saddam Hussein saying the Gulf War? How many months does it take? And the Iraq War, how many months does it take? You know, because we have to understand the game they are playing. Okay, you don't say, okay, yeah, the energy crisis, they know when the Igbo started and they are afraid. This is why now they bought, what is this guy name? What is this guy name they call?
Asari Dokubo.
Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo, you know it was before partying with the Biafra. Now, they've bought him with money. So now his tone has already changed. His tone has changed, because they know when the Biafra starts, don't forget we follow about the prophecy. And the prophecy is clear. This is not Christianity, it's not religion. I've been saying every time. Not everybody can understand what is going on. So this is what I mean that I'm standing here. The British government, they know I'm a threat to them. I've been saying it, and I don't care. It's only God that kill it and make alive. They tried every avenue. So what is going on? These are all their secret, because all this knowledge that they believe somebody in the Freemason, in Freemasonry, Illuminati, Skulls and Bones. These are the people who have this knowledge. But God gave me and my prophet this knowledge. Anything they do, like that is submarine. The submarine is that they want all the black race to die. And this is the ritual they did. I can show you images upon images. I follow everything they put on their newspapers for the past 2-3 months. I have it on my phone. I have everything, every rituals they are doing. So what they are doing is that they want to sink the black race, but they are afraid. This is why I always remember one statement. Dr. Igbowo says, this is not a joke. Because Yoruba, Congo, ni Akoda. And don't pay Akoda, they won't pay Adam. Omuno padà wá wá jẹ́ Yorùbá. So òun ni ìtòlẹ́ àti jẹ́ ọmọ aládé. Bọ́ọ̀ ti fá àwọn òtí ìfi wọn láti dèyìn eléyìí. Àwọn funfun dẹ̀ mọ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run sọ pé touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Òun ló ń ba Britain lẹ́rù. Òun ló ń ba gbogbo wọn lẹ́rù àti Amẹ́ríkà. wọ́n wá bó ṣe máa slaughter àwọn èèyàn wa. Nítorí ní gbogbo àwọn fídíò kan tá a ṣe tí wọ́n lọ ń kọ́ the biggest American embassy sí Nàìjíríà, wọ́n lọ ń kọ́ oríṣiríṣi. Wọ́n fẹ́ gbàdúrà mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ ni. Wọ́n fẹ́ because Europe will be by UK will be destroyed and it will sink. United Kingdom will sink under the ocean. Ẹ̀rù yẹn ló ń bà wọ́n. Lọ́sẹ̀ ń ṣe gbogbo àwọn rituals yẹn. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé táwọn bá lọ ṣàṣemáṣe pẹ̀lú Yíbò. Because kì í ṣe Yíbò. Yíbò is a guard. They are troops. They are warriors. Àwọn náà tẹ̀lé Yorùbá àti warrior of lára àwọn ọmọ ogun Israeli.
Right.
And we are living in the last days. Kò ń bá àwọn lẹ́rù yẹn.
Right.
So gbogbo ìtàn sọ remember me she first sọ sorry. Gbogbo ìtàn sọ pé Wargner group yẹn wọ́n kàn fi ń pass message ni kí àwọn ìjọ lè mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kó ṣẹlẹ̀. What is his name? The president of Russia. He has been president several times and many years before. Why is it that now they said the Wargner group should sign and listen to what Putin is saying? Indirectly is that Biafra should go and sign and listen to what Tinubu is saying. Don't forget, Tinubu said Nigeria will not divide. Nigeria will not separate, but we can dialogue. So it's part of the message they are passing. Okay? It's part of the message. Okay? But this is the end. Let them come. Now they are saying by the end of June, if they decide, then they will do. No, let them go and do it. Because they know the prophecy. And when you are one, you want to move officially. And when you want to move officially, but Britain to ban Naya Pariwo, let him go and try it. Let Britain go there. Fulani ati àwọn machinery tó ń lò. Àwọn ọmọ máṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn. Ibi by ọmọ àgbàna straight away. Eléyìí ṣe pé kí ni nǹkan tí ìfá ọ̀rá kù sọ jẹ́. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀. British government their king Charles. Àwọn irú wọn lẹ́ ń bọ̀ wọ́n bọ̀ wá bẹ́ orí.
All right, let's continue. We can still call it later because of the time constraint, so that we can get more people. Thank you so much. Again, the number is out there. The discussion is about the ongoing, the ongoing, situation between the Wargner group. Grandmother Comfort Adeleye, good evening and welcome to the live transmission. Good evening to you, Adeshola Adebayo. Good evening to you, Tiolu 999 Bamidele, my grandmother Ade Sheung Adelani. You're welcome. Like I said, the discussion tonight, Mrs. Flo Yetuneta Labi Aina, GR1, good evening. Grace JP, Alade Sakiru, good evening. Maybe we need the Wargner group to help us flush out all these Fulanis. Well, we don't need them. We are also warriors, but we are still being held within our warriors. Warriors were jadi. By the time our true warrior is out, like the last caller said, there will be no reason why anybody can hold us back. I want to move swiftly. There's a lot of things I watched. Good evening, Mr. Nuruddin Ajani, Lakeside, Bumulero, Egbomi Fatuke, Buba into Lagos Island. There's a professor I've been following that helped part of the development of what is known as the China today. His name is Professor Zhang Wawi, Z-H-A-N-G space W-E-I-W-E-I. Some of you must have come across him. Like I said, this is the only channel that tells you from the international perspective. That is his face there. In case you've never come across him before, you might want to Google him and check him out. He worked towards the development of the China, when one of their former, not the new China premier, the one before, I think it's about three ones before these. I mean, I came across another video he did. He's a professor of international relationship. Pastor Gunjimi. I got a call from, not a call, a voice message. Àwọn èèyàn lọ díẹ̀ díẹ̀ o láti Kétu Aláké. Ẹ rántí bàbá wa kan tí mo post video wọn, I think sometime last year, tó máa ń wọ white, ṣẹlẹ̀ ni wọ́n báyìí. Tí kódà wọ́n wá láti Kétu wá gba flag yẹn ní Abẹ́òkúta. lọ́wọ́ brother wa kan tí mo ní kó lọ gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Wọ́n fi àwọn fẹ́ lé ní pé flag kan tó lọ sókè gan lórí igi ọ̀pẹ tí wọ́n mú dání tó ń ṣe prayer. How many people remember that video? Mo kí bàbá wa Fọlámídé, salamu alaikum fẹ́yìn àfàwà. Daisy 123, good evening. How many people remember that video? You know, even though I was trying to get the image back, but Emma Tabatin lo phone there pé tọ̀nà sọ́bẹ̀ lèmi náà lò ní bíbá ẹ̀. Ìkan náà members wọn bá send message sí mi pé bàbá yẹn ti kú ṣá. Kéto Aláké lọ́wọ́. He does a lot of, he's always coming on the line show with me like this as well. Tima, Tori Wagoni, Tima mentioned Kéto Aláké all the time. Seleni Wabad. He did a lot of prayer for Yoruba nation. God, seriously. You know, worship, prayer, different things. He's dead. He's gone. He's gone. Mo kàn rí audio yẹn tó jáde ní, mo kàn rí audio yẹn, mo tẹ̀lé pàwọn lọ send audio. Ní bá gbọ́wọ́ lé. Ní bá ń gbọ́ pé bàbá ti kú. Mo fẹ́ òbí mo lè rí. Very sad situation, but that is life, you know. People come and people go. Ọlọ́run kó bá fọ̀run kẹ́ wọn. Gbogbo ìjọ tó fi sílẹ̀ kó má dàrú lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí bàbá yẹn ti lọ. It's a very, very sad situation, but it is what it is. What could a whole day lo take láti wá gba flags yẹn ní Abẹ́òkúta mo ti ní kó lọ picket níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. What did they send? Ojú wọn jáde mọ́ mo ti try pé kí n tẹ̀ gbogbo wọn. So many things. Let me just go back to okay pé WhatsApp yìí kò fún mi ní ojú wọn padà. And we have been communicating as far back as September. He sends a lot of prayers. He sent a lot of things. I think he had the opportunity to speak to Chief at some point. But it is what it is. You know, he died. Video yẹn pọ̀ gan dà kó wà lórí phone but mo bí mo ṣe lè access it because phone sometimes plays a little bit funny. Kò ń ṣàwọn usual phone. Bàbá wa Adégoroyè ló ń jẹ́. You know, ìjọ wọn wà ní Kéto Aláké. Bí a tó dá àwọn bí I don't know. Mo tẹ̀lé access gbogbo audio mi àti wọn. Audio yẹn lè kan lélẹ̀. Audio ti October 16. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ audio yẹn. Wọ́n ní we sincerely need our flag and share preparing for our own declaration. It was very, you know, Kétu ló wà ní Benin Republic.
Ẹlẹ́dàá yín àti ẹlẹ́dàá gbogbo àyè tẹ́ ń ṣe wàhálà yìí lágbára náà àti agbéwádé ilẹ̀ lérí o àníràjò gbèsàjò ọkàn gbogbo wa balẹ̀ o ẹ ṣe nípa kíní fúláàgì yẹn torí kíní mo wà ń sin Kétu ṣùgbọ́n mo ń wo tó bá jẹ́ pé mo lè rí èèyàn kó wá sí Abẹ́òkúta ní ẹni wíyà tó ṣèfù lábẹ́òkúta kí n máa mọ bí mo ṣe máa gbéra.
That was part of our conversation, you know. He sends a lot of prayers. Full nígbà tó gba flag yẹn tẹ́ bá rí as in tó ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ kódà mo fẹ́ lè ní mo rí rú ẹ̀rí pẹ̀lú lẹ́yìn bàbá confirm JP pẹ̀lú àwọn young can mo fẹ́ lè ní bàbá yẹn ó dis àdúrà gidi but mo kàn gbọ́ message yẹn pé bàbá ti kú.
Hello, Baba Koiki, ẹ káàárọ̀ sà. Olúwadìyímú ẹkùjọ́ mẹ́ta ṣàlàáfíà ni. Lórúkọ Jésù àlàáfíà Ọlọ́run kò ní fi sílẹ̀ o. Lórúkọ Jésù orí Ọlọ́run á pọ̀ nínú iṣẹ́ yín lórí ìdáwọ́lé yín lórí ọmọ yín lórí aya yín o. Orí Ọlọ́run kò ní dáwọ́ dúró o. Lórúkọ Jésù àánú Ọlọ́run tó ṣèdájọ́ lórí ìtẹ́ bàbá lórúkọ Jésù máa bá yín rìn jù ní gbogbo ọ̀nà. Ògbà yìí ò ní borí yín o. Ọlọ́run á dì yín mú nínú ara nínú ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ ò ní ṣubú. Olúwa wà pẹ̀lú yín. Àmín lórúkọ Jésù. Ẹ kújọ́ mẹ́ta sà. mo kàn fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ mo fẹ́ fi àsìkò yìí sọ fún yín pé dáàdi wa bàbá káfárì tó máa ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ lórí fóònù yìí tán dẹ̀ wá yín wá sí Abẹ́òkúta nígbà kan wọ́n ti ṣaláìsí wọ́n ti wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ Olúwa o.
He was still with me on a live show up to around April.
Olúwa kò ní fi wá sílẹ̀ ó ti ń lọ sí bíi getting to 3 weeks.
Up to 3 weeks. Message was sent to me on Thursday. Sherry, thinking that you are going to be here forever. This is a believer of Yoruba nation. Truth and question. Mori Amikemi Bello. Adewumi, Adeoti, Muki. We are not going to be here forever. We will let Tanshi. Ìjọ kan ó ti lọ nìyẹn ó ti lọ náà ni kò síjọ́ tó ń fi prayer ránṣẹ́ sí mi àti gbowó kódà church wọn tó ń kọ́ lọ ní Ketu aṣọ share the video sí mi oríṣiríṣi a lot of project is doing but he believes so much ó dẹ̀ sọ pé Yorùbá nation máa nígbà àṣàwọn gan ní bá wa délẹ̀ lérí kọ́nà fọ́ọ̀nù kẹwọn. So let's now come back to Professor Zhang Weiwei. I'm going to play some video. We are still on the issue of the Wargner group rather. But who is Professor Zhang Weiwei? Is a Chinese political scientist and a writer, a professor of international relations. Is a professor of international relations at Fudan University and the director of China Institute of this university. Good evening to everyone that are watching, that are silent listeners. Pastor Gunji May John Mokinyi, one may so rest in perfect peace. Amen. Grandma Comfort today, that is life. We are all clinging to all as if we shall be here forever. May so rest in peace. Mokimomi wa Grace. Moshari Miss Koyin ni mo makati pe me Grace Olushoto. So, but my return coin later. Baba was born in 1957, just about 3 years before independence. I want us to listen so that we can learn. My beautiful auntie, Olushola David. This is Koiki. I talk from the international side of things. I'm reviewing what is happening in Russia. But the reason why I want to link this professor is because some of what he said that I listened to today, which some of you will start having the understanding that the West plays a different card with different people. Mama Kim, Mami wa Abose de Rachel, Ede Kubububa. Media. A lot of you that are praying for me, sending money, advice. I got 3 beautiful advice yesterday that I'm going to work on. Feedback. Feedback. I am somebody that listens. And like I said, Media team, I do listen. But intelligence me, IQ me, oh high gone. Only my high to tell me. But Lord, and I know the card that is being played out with everything. It does not matter whoever you are. I fear nobody. I fear nobody. And I trust nobody. I don't trust anybody. Even with this movement, because it's about life and death. And we are like him language. So I don't trust anybody. So Professor, let me give you the background again. Professor Zhang Weiwei is a Chinese. Okay, I can give the image here and I can read from here because I'm running with 2 laptops. So that is his image, as you can see there in these beautiful machine. Lenovo ni. Olaban Droti. Machine yo ṣiṣẹ́ kankan ju iṣẹ́ Yorùbá Nation. Lot over 2 years. It was sent to me brand new from Canada. Money so belo. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá yẹn. Ìyá yẹn de tu kò tí kúrò lẹ́yìn Yorùbá Nation. Àwọn ẹlòmíì gan tẹ́ pé a dúpẹ́ fún yín ṣá ní ká sọ. FedEx ló fi gbé wá brand new. Iṣẹ́ tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe náà ní Yorùbá Nation. Àfi play Naija bet, àfi ṣe nǹkan. Bá ti ṣe tán màá tún padé. Iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe nìyẹn láti the last 2 years. Yàtọ̀ sí pàtó to upgrade some other machine. And we still need machine. So tabalẹ̀ tó ṣe fẹ́ sọ pé Koiki máa ra brand new fún ẹ. Ẹ má kọ̀ cheap ẹ ni o. Àwọn ìwọ̀n kẹrọ ni mo pa. You know. So mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ mommy wa yẹn, because some people that did something great after the movement divided, sometimes I do ask myself, anyway. Bàbá tẹ́ ń wò níwájú yìí was born in 1957. Ṣé mọ̀ pé bàbá Akíntóyè ju bàbá yìí lọ? Everybody agrees that. This man, Baba Akíntóyè, is older than him because he's 65 years old. So Baba Akíntóyè gba 23 years old. Lọ́wọ́. But he was offering pé, but boy, who are around to work towards interfering China lane. This man that you're looking at, this professor, he walks towards he walked Alex Mamoon. Thank you so much. And Joe K and the rest of you on the Instagram. And Timbati Daruko Imole Yoruba, my brother. The question is, his nationality is Chinese. He was influenced by Mo Zedong. Mo Zedong is another person. Tatu Mamuja Denisi Mumbo. Mufe copy LA. Thank you so much for those of you that have joined us. Mufe la moon background the music MAOZEDONG. I want to make it China. The China China. So you can Google the other guy here. How are you? Is my noise too much? Okay. Tebang bought China lane. Let me give you the full image first. The reason why China is China today, Jim Morasa, thank you so much. Babata and Woy. And let's give you a background. Because Ninu influencing something influenced us to Yoruba Nation. Whether some of you was because of Igbowo, some of you was because of Baba Akíntóyè, some of you was because something was speaking to you. We must be influenced by something. Some are influenced with Bola Tinubu. I heard his speech, not with the summit. He didn't say anything in the summit, but he spoke with the diaspora on the page of Abike Dabiri, which I'll try and extract later on. Because it's talking about unity. Bola Tinubu is talking about unity among us. There will never be unity with Nigerians. But we're going to come back there. So who is this man? So let me put his image here, and then I'll use my other laptop, you know, to give us his background according to Wikipedia. You can write it down. His name is MAO space ZEDONG, also known as the chairman Mao. I think that will be the pronunciation. Mao was a Chinese politician, political theorist. I love that word, theorist. Let me break it down. Let's find the meaning of theorist. So let's go and look at the English dictionary. So the pronunciation will be, oh, because I've connected these, so could be sounded jade, but that's fine. So theorist is a person concerned with the theoretical aspect of the subject. When we say somebody is theorist, Theorist, I think I could get the sound here because I always love the sound. Theorist. Yeah. So it is called
theorist.
Again.
Theorist.
One more time.
Theorist.
When we say
theorist,
it literally means, I'm still going to be showing you the image of this guy while I use my other laptop to give us. So a theory is a rational type of abstract thinking about a phenomenon of Yoruba nation that Baba Akintoye is thinking. Baba Akintoye is a theorist. He's looking at the bigger picture, while Tinubu is looking at a smaller picture with his own cocoon of people. The Wargner are probably thinking that they are becoming much powerful and they can invade Russia. Russia, I don't know, but it will destroy them. Worst case scenario is there will be bloodbaths in Russia. But Russia will destroy them and it will still destroy whoever is sending them. I'll just leave it like that. Does not mean that Russia is as perfect as any other countries. They are all the same. They all have different agenda. And the agenda is not as what we might think because everybody looks at it from different angles. But why do I want to link these professor that we are going to talk about? He said something. The professor actually told us something that somebody influenced him. This professor, Professor Zhang Wiwi. Only influence him. He also talked about somebody that influenced him called Karl Marx. He also talked about Kong Kyung, Henry Kissinger, Bertrand Russell, Edmund Burke. I told you that somebody that I looked up to was Alistair Campbell because I knew how he was a communicator during the time of Tony Blair. Tony Blair could not do anything without Alistair Campbell. I still follow him on Twitter and do as many other things that he's doing presently away from being a politician. So when you are now dealing with me, remember that you are dealing with somebody that is also influenced by somebody. But the person that this man was influenced is this other man called Mao. So let me give you a background of Mao. Mao, also known as Chairman Mao, was a Chinese politician, political theorist. We've told you about what the meaning of theorist is. So I break down the theory. So you now get the understanding of what is called theorist. He's also a poet, but a communist revolutionary who was the founder of the People's Republic of China. Baba Tenwei, Baba Tenwei, Omuno found the People's Republic of China. Akalamago TV, welcome to you, my brother. And I saw you enjoying Barcelona. So when we talk about somebody like Professor Adebanji Akintoye, that is not older than this guy, but professor is older than the other professor. Because this one that I'm showing you right now was born on the 26th of December, 1893. The reason why you are seeing China today, I will tell you, because China refused to listen to some of the rhetorics of the West. The West talk about human rights. Really? They talk about all kind of different things that sometimes, if you believe they're nonsense, especially as what is being played out. The West message is different from the East. So whatever message is coming out from Russia side, Belarus, and all those areas will be different from what is coming out from France that Bola Tinubu just left. He's probably touched down in London. He said he's there for a private meeting. We don't know what kind of private meeting. But Mao, or Chairman Mao, according to Wikipedia, tells us that he was a revolutionary who was the founder of the People's Republic of China, which he led as the chairman of the Chinese Communist Party from the day of the establishment of the PRC in 1949. Baba Akintoye was born in 1935. So that's about approximately some few years after that party was formed. This man died 2 years before I was born in 1976. Yoruba people do not understand what Baba Akintoye is fighting for. Yoruba people that are fighting for the same Nigeria do not understand what the late Obafemi Awolowo was fighting for. If only they know what they are fighting for, every one of our Yoruba politicians will be a revolutionary. There will be like the Wargner machineries that are ready to fight anybody to protect the dignity and the right of our territory. But they are not going to do so because they are used to a lifestyle that they feel very much comfortable with. So if you're thinking that anybody, good evening to my beautiful mother, if you think that anybody is coming to fight on our behalf, let me tell you once again, our politicians should have been our machineries that will fight on our behalf, just like the chairman Mo. They will refuse to listen to any order from the West. They will not accept the West rhetorics. They will go in accordance with their own instinct as the theorist. But as many Yoruba people today, they are lazy goats. They don't want to do anything. They want to sit back and enjoy life, but the life will be taken away from you, whether at the old age or whether at some point, just like Raymond Dokwesi died while he was doing exercise. You would imagine that somebody like him would have a personal trainer. How much is it going to cost him? From what we heard, may his soul rest in peace. That's all I can say. Whether that soul rest in peace will be subject to what he did in the earth before he died. Because Raymond Dokwesi had the money. I mean, we're talking about somebody that owns AIT. How much is it going to cost him to get a personal trainer for 2 hours while he will be on the treadmill? He did not have one because he cannot think like a revolutionarist. They were more thinking like from the PDP aspect. Just PDP will be governor, PDP will be government, and they will then squaddle Nigeria and squeeze Nigeria out and use that to fund their own lifestyle. That is what every one of them is doing. So how do we then have people like the Wargner group, machineries? Those machineries should be our individual politicians. But these politicians are not interested to fight for you. So if you're waiting for your politicians to fight for you, like the Wargner group, you will all die one by one, like former Chief of Defense Staff Danjuma told you. If you wait for the military, you will die one by one. So why do we want to talk about these men? What is important of him that is going to link us to the professor? Let me move swiftly forward. Let me play this video. This video that I'm about to share with you was 11 years ago. Literally 1 decade ago. This professor is speaking to Al Jazeera. Let's hear a snip of that communication.
To the people, and has the power to do whatever he likes. And actually, this is sometimes described, including in Fukuyama's writings, called the bad emperor problem. When you have a good emperor in China's long past, the dynasty performed very well. When you had a bad emperor, I'm sorry, the state of affairs declined. And actually, China has solved this problem. If you look at the top elite of the Chinese leadership, the 9 members of the Standing Bureau of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau, you look at the selection process, the minimum requirement for this post is 2 terms as a number 1 in the province. And don't forget, China is a huge country. Each province could be the size of 5, 6 European countries in terms of population. So it's by no means to do a good job easy. It's by no means easy to be a governor and perform well in running such a large province.
You're hearing province. You're hearing 2 terms, just 2 years, but you must be top notch. You must be top notch that if you end up going to hospital, breaking news, as rebel machinery agreed to reverse their march. Okay, I'm just getting the breaking news there. Prince Adiola Aboru Aboye Aboshe Awamu Dudua Ekabo. I am not joking. If Nigeria was meant to be a country, or if we are ready, Akeredolu will never come back to become the governor. We will stop him. But we are not going to do that because we are lazy people. We are not ready. That is the difference between China. Because China is not listening to the West rhetorics about human rights, about whatever, because they are saying that you will not control how we run operation from our end. How would a governor, if not is crazy, will leave his state, even to go to Lagos and get treatment? The one that doesn't go to Lagos fly out of Nigeria to go and get medical treatment. And you don't see that as a psychotic problem. You don't see that as a mental problem. And you don't see that from the point of view that, is this normal? It's because they do not want to go in line with Baba, the late Obafemi Awolowo, just as the chairman of MOAL. But a lot of them, like the short man Kukute, your former vice president, Osibajo, he has left the office now. We have not seen any achievement of 8 years of a wasted man, a wasted fool that called himself professor. That is not a professor. They should withdraw that professorship from Osibajo. This is a professor that was influenced. You know that all we were told that the same Osibajo, let me bring his face out so that you can see and look at this man. Osibajo, where are you? Osibajo, the weary man. 8 wasted years. All he does is smile. Osibajo is meant to be a professor as well. Not a professor of law that knows that kidnapping somebody like Nnamdi Kanu is wrong according to international law. But he cares less because he's a deceiver himself. And some people, they say this one is a pastor. Oh my God. God help us all. They say this man is a pastor. He should be removed as a pastoral, and they should remove his professorship, because if you look at him, according to Wikipedia, Osibajo is 66 years old. The other professor that we are talking about is 65. Bomb bastard. This one is 2 years older than this professor that I'm talking to you about now. But this one was also influenced by somebody. Do you know that this idiot told us that he's influenced by Babawulawo? That's why he dressed like Babawulawo. If you see him all the time, he put on the the cap of Babawulawo because he even married to Babawulawo family. But he's a bastard. He's not a true son of Yoruba man. Because he knows that the government he was serving was not on a trajectory like the Wargner group. The Wargner group were already on the track, but something is feeding them again. Like the Fulani was feeding this guy. You will become the next president. They brought him up, they dump him down. So when you look at Osibajo and compare Osibajo with this other guy, from just the little you've heard about this guy now on the video that he did in 11 years ago, you can tell that Osibajo should have resigned under the former governor or former government, but he refused. You know why? He loves the money as well. He was not going to resign. Extra tire. Osibajo should have resigned when he saw that the situation that he thought was going to happen is not going to happen. But they promised him, the Fulani promised him presidency when his godfather was also venturing for the same position. And you know what the Fulani did? What for Igborawa, of Igbarango, what for Osibajo, of Igbatinubu. Osibajo went with a dagger in his heart. Kò tí rí dagger yẹn yọ nísìn, torí pé tó bá yọ ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ máa lọ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. And what do I mean by that? If he make any move, Bola Tinubu will complete and finish him. Because the dagger yẹn ṣì wà lára Osibajo pé àwọn Fulani promise ẹ̀ kó máa di president. But Tinubu is another criminal that knew that the Fulani were playing him. And he told whoever knows Osibajo, don't think about it. You know, Osibajo should have stepped down for Tinubu during the primaries, but he refused to because he had the belief from dead Buhari that he will be the next president. Now, let's go back again to these other professors. These are professors. These are real professors. Forget about anybody tell you I'm a professor. They are like tissue paper. Let's come back here.
You have to do it twice before you have been able to meet basic condition of this criteria. And so my sometimes I joke to my American friend. I said, with this system in place, already in place, it's highly unlikely we will elect a guy like George W. Bush. It's way too below the bar. It's unlikely.
Who, I want to know whether people got that part. Who understood that part when he talked about George W. Bush? Who understood that part? Let me rewind it again.
Oh, you're running such a large progress. You have to do it twice before you have been able to meet basic condition of this criteria. And so my sometimes I joke to my American friend. I said, with this system in place, already in place, it's highly unlikely we will elect a guy like George W. Bush. Way too below the bar.
How did we get to where we are? This guy, was a knock W. Bush, the whole president of America. Only worldly employer, Koshisha Fondu Meji in the province of China, way below. You can see why we are telling those of you at home, you will cry and cry and cry. You will be surviving, but your life will continue to go in dungeon until you understand that machinery like the Wargner want to chew more than they can bite. ẹ wo bó ṣe nọ́ọ̀kì W Bush pé ta ni W Bush wọ́n lè employer ní province àwa náà ní province bishop ti ṣàlàyé fún wa rí ní some year last year we have province táwọn kan tẹ̀ ń bínú ẹ dárúkọ province àwọn ọ̀jẹ̀ kí ni kan àìtí débi tá à ń lọ when we get to where we are going everything will be systematically put in place. We are still talking about this particular man. Thank you so much, Mr. Akim Ayodele, Mrs. Grace Olushoto. Thank you so much, ma. Folayan Awofisibe. Thank you so much. Bayo says, young perspective on Wargner is wrong. Your perspective on Wargner is wrong. Wargner is ultra-nationalist that wanted to destroy Ukraine by all means, but Putin and his guys are moderate who do not share Prigozhin idea if wiping Ukraine off the map. The rebellion is about direction of war in Ukraine. Nobody is funding Wagner to attack Russia. That is your view, and you have the right to that view. Just listen and take my own view. That is why it's called, the world that we are living is different from today. And maybe you just joined the program or you join along the line. It does not matter how Wagner or whatever they are. I am doing analysis around them. It does not matter your views on the perspective of mine. That is why we all have different IQ knowledge. And we can never agree. Just as this guy said, imagine Americans hearing this now. You think Americans will be happy that this guy is saying that their American president that they love so much is not even to the par. So when we come here and say Tinubu is not to the par, you know how people attack us? Because they cannot see, they cannot smell. How can you have a governor of Ondo State and he will travel out to Germany and he wants to return back to the seat? That is what I'm just using. So your views is that. But what I'm saying here tonight is that Wagner wants to chew more than what they can bite. And if we're talking about the Wagner as the machineries, I am just using it as a case study with around what we have been saying. And that is why I brought in this professor as well, just to balance the situation of conversation, because intelligence honestly is just saying that, look, forget about whatever the West is telling you. The West are not clean as well. The West are there to change our narrative about keep Nigeria, knowing fully well. You know the Jamaica, somebody sent me an article. Jamaica is now requesting that they should not be getting visa to UK if they are still having monarch system. And they're also planning to move out of this British Empire. Let's come back here again. But thank you so much for your comments, whoever that was.
It's all like you speak, and a lot of Chinese philosophy speaks in terms of history. Everything is looked at in the long term. Everything is considered through the lens of previous experience. And you have already said that this long-term thinking makes you believe that China will not go towards a Western democratic model. Let me just explore a couple of other of the Western priorities.
Did you hear what the journalist is asking? That China is not going to go through the same democracy like the West. Why are we going through the same democracy like the West is the question. Why do you want to go in the same democracy that is not solving our problem? We want to run democracy like America. Grammar across the world. Why do we want to go in accordance with the West? Knowing fully well that that is not working. Even UK, Scotland was hot today. You know why? Because they were running a full-scale protest again, demanding for one thing, their exit from the Great Britain that was put together. They might not get it straight away, but they're pushing for at least another referendum. And the British government knows that giving them another referendum is very, very tricky. That could be the end. Because voting, the vote, no, that ends the union and everything now start falling in place. That is the reason why they're not giving them a referendum again. The last one they got was 2014, 2 years before the EU exit, that they promised them that UK will remain in European Union, but UK came out of it. So today, if you were in Scotland, or you must have seen that on one of our videos that I posted, that is if you're following us back to back. Let's come back again to this professor, Zhang Weiwei, the China wave. This interview was 11 years ago.
I wonder which direction China is heading in. And one of those, of course, is human rights. Yeah. Now, the ultimate human rights position of the Western nations these days has been fairly clearly articulated. Is China's human rights philosophy moving in that direction or somewhere different? If we adopt international standards, not US American standards.
I love that word. Some of you don't understand international standard. They say international standard and the US standard. The US standard that wants to control everything their own way, their own directives. Is it going to work with Russia? It's not. Is it going to work with China? Even Saudi Arabia, that is a very close ally with the US, is now also trying to pull out from the dollarization. There was a video from, I think, Kenya, saying that why should we, between Djibouti and Kenya, be spending dollar when we don't need to? We're talking about this money. So this dollarization, it might not be straight away. It might still take some few more decades, but it's not going to last forever. That is why there's now the BRICS. And more countries are more interested to be part of the BRICS.
See, the UN definition of human rights: economic, social, cultural, political, civil rights. Yeah. If we use that criteria, it's interesting. You will see the Iraq war is a violation of human rights. 50 million people without insurance, a violation of human rights. China has its share of problems, but it's always necessary to remember, when we discuss human rights, we have to first of all ask Chinese, not Washington, not Brussels, not Paris.
When we talk about human rights, we've got to first talk about the Chinese. We've got to ask the Chinese people the human rights. Why should we ask America to come and tell the Chinese people about the human rights? But today, what our own side of the globe have done is they've craftily, we understand there was killings in Lekki toll gate. Everybody go and sign petition. Go and sign petition. When it's 100,000, we will talk about it. And fools and gullible people, pew, 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 pew. Everybody sign. Everybody sign. Everybody sign. Hey, they don't kill us in Lekki toll gate. Hey, 100,000. Hey, they will talk about it, and they talk about it. When we should deal with that problem right on the grassroots there, like the Wargner, or however you think about it. Professor Zhang Weiwei is telling us, why should Chinese listen to America about their human rights?
It's not London. You are ordinary Chinese, whether in China, in Beijing, Shanghai, or elsewhere, in Europe, in the United States. What do you think of China's human rights? Are they better now than before? I think, by a conservative estimate, most Chinese think their human rights are better than any time before. That's very important. Again, that's part of the process. What is the ultimate aim? No, the ultimate aim is we will draw a lot from Chinese own culture. we have the
culture. We have thrown away our culture. We are now embedded with the West culture. Everybody wants to dress like America. Everybody wants to dress like the British. Everybody wants to dress like the French. We have now abandoned our culture. So we're going to leave that because that video is not mine. But I just want us to get the perspective. Now that the Wargner group have stood back a little bit from their threat to the Russian Kremlin with the intention that we will invade or coup or whatever it was, let's come back to that topic again. Why do you think they've stopped? What was pushing them in the first place? What was the reason that they were being pushed? Was something pushing them? Is there influence of something, or is it just that Wargner group is having problem with the generals that is having the operation of the Ukraine war? There is a lot going on around the world. It is the only one that I want us to know that we know. Let me remind you again. Do you know that while they were looking for the submersible, America and UK knew that submersible is gone, but they kept it as a classified document because information is just coming out that they had a loud boom the same timing that the submersible went under the water, and they kept that to themselves. And at the end of the day, they were pulling every resources to rescue something that was gone. Do you know that? The submersible to share do you know that UK and America Navy had a loud boom, like an explosion, and they kept that to themselves, classified, until they now realize that but látijọ́ tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan làwọn ti gbọ́ sound yẹn. So when our own people are now waiting for one person to come and help us, the question is, nobody is coming to help anybody. It is our own right to now decide our fate. It is our right, but that right is not something that they want to give you. Do you know how many things that is running behind the scene that we will never know? There are so many things that is running. Let's take this call. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Kweki.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, this is Bayo. Yeah, I'm only for.
You're welcome to the
I
program.
was actually watching your show, and I didn't want to contribute in relation to the Wargner issues in Russia.
Okay.
You know, as one of those people who has been following Russian politics for like more than a decade, and who has been following the war.
Yeah.
I want to say that most of the percent there's something I don't think it's correct. I don't think it's right because Wargner forces was formed in 2014. Normally by Russian law, because to get private military kini. But Russia intervention for land countries for Biru Kupa, Biru 200 military one law. I want to Wargner go ya hello Daberu hello she. So these are things that they have been doing. But when
so
you want
to call the dirty work.
Yes.
Okay.
But when you want to now, they want Wargner because of Russian law, they cannot operate in Russia. They have to operate in Donetsk, Donbass, where they are fighting in eastern Ukraine, because it's outside Russia. So because they operate in here.
Okay.
Now, but when they want to operate in Russia, next see our area, get the problem. Okay, they will now have to conform to the Russian law now.
Which is what they've given them up to the end of June. I know that. Go ahead. I'm going.
Now, Wargner, then, and Wargner, then, let me tell you one thing about Russia. There are four forces in Russia: the socialists, the liberals, the moderate, and the ultranationalists. The ultranationalists, àwọn ló lè tẹ nuclear bell button láì wo gbogbo tí US ṣe tí Britain ṣe wọ̀nyẹn wọ́n lè pa ní ayé láì wo lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. Àwọn wọ̀nyẹn ni Wargner, àwọn yẹn ni Wargner àtàwọn supporters ẹ̀. Àwọn ni ultranationalists ní Russia. Àwọn moderate làwọn Putin pé ẹja ṣe everything lẹ́sọ̀. So bí wọ́n yẹn ṣe ń lọ yẹn, they are not happy with the direction of the war. The Wargner forces wanted Russia to destroy Ukraine,
but Russia is taking Putin is taking it bit by bit. I don't think I explode Google, but I understand. Go ahead.
Then they should go to Kyiv, where they can enter Kyiv. But Putin and his general doesn't want
to give the go ahead.
Russian soldiers to die. Well, let's give them attritional war. That finish one. Now they destroy first Ukraine soldiers. And when they don't do the last in 1992, they want to destroy the second one. Third one, Europe and America, so and the world production is saying, we cannot get the time for us to go to Kyiv. Because they're see, I want to prepare weapons, weapons, produce ready near around September, October. Russian nationalists
okay. Thank you so much for the clarity, and we appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. But in Scotland, Lenny, they from protest.
It's about 22 degrees.
All right, thank you so much. And that's a very good clarity there. What we are just trying to clarify the most is that there are machineries, and every country has it. But when we look at it from our own point of view, as some of you, our missing machineries were but maybe one more but join program, so it was difficult for him to understand. I was actually looking at our Oluselua as our machineries. They are meant to be our machineries. I said that at the beginning of the program. So whether you are my House of Assembly, you are my senator, you are my governor, these are our machineries. But the machineries could now be from the perspective of the political view. That is why I keep saying that in 4 years, he comes back and asks for another 4 years. 8 years is done. And we have still now been able to leave Nigeria. We are all going to be in a serious problem. All this joy that we are experiencing around the new sheriff in town, which is nothing bad, it's not lasting forever. So the role of our machineries, equivalent to our political, when I use the word machinery, machinery are just not everyone that will carry gun, but at least they are like, just like the Scottish, their machinery now is their, especially those that want the breakaway. The Labour Party in Scotland are not going to break, if they're given the power from Scotland. I listen to them. They're not ready. But the SNP and the other Alba party, there's another party called Alba Party that is also including the former, minister. To your Twitter, I would have gone to show you, but let me see if I have that. Okay, I think I should show it on my YouTube. Let me just bring that in. Let me see. I posted something on my YouTube channel today, just as it's just like an headline from the Sky News. Let's see where that is. This is Scotland today. It was Scotland, really. Àwọn tó ń béèrè fún independent lélẹ̀ ní Scotland. Can you see that? Kẹ̀rí pé ilé ń sọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn 1,000, ilé ń sọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn 200. Àwọn tó fẹ́ freedom lélẹ̀. But ṣe mọ reason tí wọ́n ṣe ní this kind of crowd, because one backup. 90Y, good evening. My brother, the real non, welcome to the program. Oh. No, but I say the reason why they have this kind of opportunity, without any fear, without any threats, like this. Mr. Yusuf Olatunji. Can you see that? Bó ṣe jẹ́ ká máa jáde lélẹ̀ yo. Tíyàn kankan ní knock wa out. Tíyàn kankan ní yìnbọn fún wa. Can you see them? Wọ́n ní pé I need the rally. Wọ́n náà need the protest. Wọ́n ní because kò necessary. It's because they don't understand the international side. Let's watch it again. Can you see? Now, kí ló fà wọ́n ní power yìí? Mashallah, if we listen, because they have a political undertone. Political undertone here, because our politicians are not interested. This is the SNP, the current minister in Scotland, is saying categorically to the, Mokimomi wa Folashade that I want to break away. Let's watch this.
Some of the day's other headlines now. And Scotland's First Minister will today tell the SNP's Independence Convention that the country can achieve transformational change by breaking away from the UK. The conference in Dundee will look to rally support for the SNP's goal of a second independence referendum. But opposition parties, some of the day's other headlines now. And Scotland's First Minister will today tell the SNP's Independence Convention that the country can achieve transformational change by breaking away from the UK. The conference in Dundee will look to rally support for the SNP's goal of a second independence referendum. But opposition parties, some of the day's other headlines now. And Scotland's First Minister will today tell the SNP's Independence Convention that the country can achieve transformational change by breaking away from the UK. The conference in Dundee will look to
did you hear that? That they can have a transformation of change by breaking. Thank you so much, Shalom, my brother, Yahwada. They are saying that they can have a transformation of change if they leave these Wahala country that they've joined together. But with our people are loving Nigeria. They love Nigeria so much that Nigeria is now not loving them. because we are in Clubhouse right now discussing the major problem which may cause another ethnic war. I will name them. Thank you so much. Odudua has arrived. Thank you so much, my brother, the real now. Femi Bright, So to come back again, the line is open at any time if you want to join and have your say. I don't know how long we have stayed already so far, because I can't see the timing on any of my clock. More time that, but I believe we've done some few hours already. Yeah, we've done 2 hours, so far. Religion is our major aspect. It's because, IT take a religion out of the discussion. Religion should not be, but it is part of it because wahala ni. Plus 44 74 04 405 917. Let's come back again to, we might not literally want to go through the Chinese way of Mao, but I don't think Baba Olowo no ní ideology to make us a great people. Tabalowo history Baba Olowo, the late, Awo Obafemi Awolowo. Obafemi Awolowo was born in 1909. Mo fẹ́ lọ wo Awolowo pẹ̀lú Mao. Mao was born in 1893. So he was a little bit older than Baba Olowo. So I can imagine how Baba Olowo would have maybe seen somebody like that. Ní time era tí wọ́n, ẹ mọ̀ pé era ní gbogbo nǹkan. Era kan la wà yìí. Era ìgbà kan làwọn ń lò lọ. So mo kàn try láti picture in my brain kí ni Baba Olowo lè máa rò, because Baba Olowo máa gbọ́ nípa Mao. Yeah, religion has always been our problem. Anyway, whereas, the free education were Obafemi Awolowo and Lateef Jakonde vision that Southwest and Southeast students benefited from in the 80s in the Southwest. Religion. Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised free WAEC fee exam first, now university loan. It's currently in London now, I guess. Awolowo was well read from the University of London in 1944. So there's no way Baba Awolowo ni more story chairman Mao. Just raising good evening. I'm sure he knows. Mr. Peter Adekoya Ekabosa. There can be a late charge there. So let me just put it inside our case so that call it my charge iPhone alone in the pouch. Ma kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti wọlé lọ́tùn lósì ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Koiki Media Live. As I am looking into the Wargner, and we've been given a background from a very good analysis again from a brother that called earlier. I'm sure pé nígbà tí Baba Olowo wà láyé, wá máa wo chairman Mao, ìgbésẹ̀ tóun náà ń gbé tó fi di pé China di tó dìlé ni. China did not just become China. Àwọn náà go through a lot of famine. Ìyà já wọn náà gan. But reformed ló gbé wọn débi tó wà lénìí. Ǹjẹ́ àwọn tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa, are they prepared for the reform, the true reform? Because mo ti delete Instagram orí fóònù yìí ni. Mo fẹ́ play ntí Tinubu sọ. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ bóyá Instagram mi máa show lórí laptop. Instagram. Because tọjọ́ mẹ́ta tí mo ti connect laptop yìí. Okay, ó dẹ̀ wá padà ṣóṣà. So jẹ́ kí n lọ sọ́dọ̀ page Abike Dabiri. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí Tinubu sọ. With his engagement with the Nigerian diaspora or diaspora in Paris, Abike Dabiri. So you can show yín nǹkan tí Tinubu sọ. Where's the video?
All of you, all of us. Our diversity is an asset if we know how to use it for our prosperity. Born of the same father and the same house, except living in different rooms. We must promote unity, stability, and economic justice for every one of us. The president received several gifts from his host, including.
I'm going to play it again. Then my play let me G. You know, he talks, we don't, you know, it's not very clear. We know that. But let's hear it twice. And how is this going to make impact within the 4 years that he's going to be there? Within another 4 years, that is if he comes back and wins the ticket to come back again or whatever. Let's hear that again.
Including the famous Real Madrid.
Let's go back. I want you to start from the beginning. Let's listen to Bola Tinubu.
Nigeria belongs to all of you.
Nigeria belongs to all of you, all of us.
Our diversity is an asset. If we know how to use it.
If we know how to use it.
For our prosperity.
For our prosperity.
Born of the same father.
Of the same father.
And the same house.
In the same house.
Except
living in different rooms.
We must promote unity.
We must promote unity, stability,
and
economic justice for every one of us.
The president.
What do you see to that? Let's play it one more time. Good evening to you, Switzerland Ball. I will not do the voiceover. I'll let him speak alone on his own. Let's listen again. 1 minute. It's gone too fast already.
Belongs to all of you, all of us. Our diversity is an asset if we know how to use it for our prosperity. Born of the same father and the same house, except living in different rooms. We must promote unity, stability, and economic justice for every one of us.
Now, let me knock him out quickly with our father's letter. Where's my own Baba letter? Tinubu talks about unity in this engagement with the diaspora in Paris. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel Ayomide. Sonke says, even in APC, there was never a unity. Just reading, say, I'm just waiting to see how Tinubu's government policy will affect the lives of ordinary Nigeria. Keep the comment coming. We are still live, even though I can smell the food already, but don't worry, I can still hold my taste board. It's just coming up to 10 p.m. and I hope you're all having fun with me on the live show. Good evening once again to those of you. Mr. Peter, thank you so much. Mukentawani, Hong Kong. Tinubu was talking about unity. But Babaja Koyewa, there's no more unity in Nigeria. So he talks about our diversity. There's nothing called diversity because we hate each other so much. Page 3. Nigeria stand at this moment in a devastating pains of unresolved nationality problem. Is Tinubu aware that we have nationality problem? Adam Olamilekon, good evening and welcome to the program. Is Tinubu aware we have nationality problem? Bishop Adesina on Tinubu is a pathetic liar. This is one to say the new president, ABHT, must come to London as we are looking. He's in London. Tinubu has fly from Paris to London on a private meeting, but it's not official engagement. He didn't go back to Nigeria. He flew from Paris to London. Nigeria stand at this moment in a devastating pains of unresolved nationality problem. Tinubu are aware of the nationality problem now face. Is he aware of that or probably not? Tinubu want the nationality problem while our intent face or not? Maybe he's aware, maybe not. But what Tinubu is saying in that video, which I'm going to play back again, after Tabati Bon Kotiba Bakito Ekosibi by Bia Tinubu Bon Shenwo, though it's not denying it that there's unity problem. Are they going to give the Igbos the right in 2027 so that key diversity problem were a little bit reduced? Are they going to give people in the south and also in the middle belt? Abi awataje majority nìkan la mama pín ìjọba mọ́ra wa lọ́wọ́ between the southwest and the north. Ijatola Martin says, so British is the father of the zoo that has diverse culture, language, and dignity. Enter Olori Mixeller. Hey, comment in it. Yes. Come plan Bimba Miwago. Only have done 2 hours, 5 minutes already. Thank you so much. Are you with me? Are you following the conversation? Nigerians stand at this moment in a devastating pains of unresolved nationality problem. We are not understanding who we are. We are having nationality problem. Truth and question. Thank you so much. Tinubu understand that Nigeria is really feeling a lot of problems, but it's trying to calm down the situation, just as Wargner Group are now also, just like the last caller explained to us that àwọn fẹ́ fọ́ gbogbo ènìyàn bùtù sọ fún wọn pé ẹ ṣe sùúrù díẹ̀ àwọn ẹ̀rẹ́ wọn pé okay now mo lè link ẹ̀ mọ́ kọ́tẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn sọ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó pè lẹ́ǹkan yẹn ṣe gan-an ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn ní àwọn Wargner Group àwọn fẹ́ kọ́ destroy gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀, but Putin is trying to still so àwa nísìn a ní ẹ jẹ́ ká pull out kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Tinubu ní ẹ̀yin ọmọ mi ẹ ṣe sùúrù ẹ yé ṣe wàhálà àti gbàjọba nísìn ọdún 8 péré ni máa fi ṣe bọ̀ má bá ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣé títì lẹ fẹ́ ṣé devolution of power lẹ fẹ́ sí local government máa authorize gbogbo ẹ̀ ẹ bá ń bi Koiki kí ló fẹ́ ẹ bi Igboho ẹ bi bàbá Akíntóyè kí ló fẹ́ ẹ ní kẹ́ lọ jókòó. I'm just paraphrasing here now. So Tinubu will do all these good things. Titi, maybe I don't know whether the economy will peak. I think we have another caller. And tó bá fẹ́ pè lẹ́yìn tẹ́tí gbọ́n kan tí Tinubu sọ +44 ẹ̀kọ́ sílẹ̀ 74 044 05917. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sọ́dọ̀ Bishop Adesina.
Thank you very much, Koiki.
Yeah.
That Tinubu statement is upsetting. It's upsetting because we cannot have a mute leader, and now we have a new leader, a new president. We cannot have a mute president. That was the former president. Now we have a new president, and the new president is a liar. Calling us from one father, we were never from one father.
Okay, that's angle 10 to film
From
me
the-
anything.
From the history of colonization, French, Portuguese, and all these people have come into southern part of Nigeria before even British came and brought over this region and merged it with the north. The north was the British colony. And apart from that, and that's the reason they were able to rig 1959 election. I mean, the election against Baba Awolowo for the northerner, their own child. Not we are never the British child. You are calling us one father, a father that cannot welcome his children to his house. You need to go to UK, you need to go and plead for visa. And they will charge you every amount of money. That is if you have the visa to collect. Is that a father? Father of who? Who is Tinubu lying or teasing? He can only deceive his political mates. You should stop making those rounded nonsense. They are all there for their selfish purpose. And I pity all those people still believing that Tinubu will do something positive for Yoruba nation. It's just a waste of time. And for his selfish purpose is therefore. I stand to be corrected at any time. Ìgbẹ̀dọ́ máa ń ju olókùn àdá fún gbogbo àwọn tọ́tọ́ rò pé Tinubu ti débẹ̀ pé wọ́n rí nǹkan ṣe. He cannot. According to the constitution, he signed to be the president of Nigeria. He cannot. He cannot. He cannot. So why is Nigerian people deceived? And why is Yoruba people so gullible and so deceitful? Why did they like to be living in denial? Wasting the time of a lot of people. Now, looking at economic side now, from the point of view of number one, the first policy, removal of fuel subsidy. There's nothing like subsidy. It's just the means of government to increase fuel price. Okay, you increase it from one, because if there is fuel subsidy, immediately you remove subsidy, the price of the fuel should be free and be sold at market price. But you say you remove fuel subsidy and you are still fixing price. That shows you didn't remove anything. You are still the one in control. And you move price from 180 to 600 and something or 550. People can't buy it at that price. They're buying it 600 and something, 700 and something. Money that you could have used to buy like for 4 or 5 liters, you are using it to buy just 1 liter. All that money from the citizen is going to the covers of government. Second policy is that he now devalued naira in the name of deceiving the people that he unified the price of exchange rate. If you know you are unifying the price of exchange rate, why can't you bring it to the lowest price, 460? That is it on the international price, and let it be local price like that. But no, they devalue the naira and take it to even beyond the local market price. Bank is the one selling very expensive, even that blue the change, the black market now. Because you can, in bank now is 850 in bank. It is Burundi change that you will still see 760, 780. Those are Burundi change, black market. From the bank, go. The shield is 800 and almost 1,000 naira. And that all these excesses go straight to the coffers of government. So money were coming in for them. So the estimate now is that the last fract share is about 7-10 billion that they share. But with what is coming in for them now, what they will share at the end of June, July now will be 1.2 trillion. Excess has come in from there, from the suffering of the citizen. but what did they have to cushion the suffering of the people? Because life is unbearable. People, commodity have gone high now. Commodity has gone high everywhere. Things that people are buying for 150 is now 250 now. Common bottle mineral is 200. I'm talking about bottle mineral that they are buying for 150. The rubber plastic one that they are buying for 200 is now 250. And people don't even know what the price will be because it's not yet balanced. They don't know what is happening yet because the value of Naira keep going down. And government is receiving all this money. Now, they don't have plan for the people. The money has been FCH. They've started planning for themselves. They started increasing their own salary. He increased his own salary from 3-point-something million to 8-point-something million. He had 5 million to his own salary as a president from the money that they are just making from the people. What is the plan they have for the people that they are making the money from? That they should just stop all these lies. They should just stop all these lies. They are there for themselves to make their own money and live, and stop putting Nigeria on the slow motion of their work. He has nothing to offer any Nigeria or to improve Nigeria's situation. Nigeria is on the keg of gunpowder. When it will explode, and there won't be any pity for anybody because they are part of the wickedness. Thank you.
Wow. The reality, thank you so much, Mr. Dekunle Plenty. Hyundai Innovative say, God bless this caller. I want me the real now. So it is unfortunate that some of us Yorubas didn't believe in our focus and goals. What is the role of our politician? Kini role? We still have approximately less than an hour because I've echoed you 3 hours long. So that so I don't think I should charge this. Or should they hold funny at that gun? Kini role on politicians were. There's another caller that is coming through. Let's take that call from another mother. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Koiki.
You're good evening and welcome.
I wanted to talk about Tamambao, or just to talk about what Bishop just said now.
Okay.
Dele Alake just made a statement now that
he has been. Yeah, I was going to say that information.
Yeah, that was no.
I think it's true. It's a backlash. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, Kini, when you expect me as for a person, I do not expect Tinubu to do better because Nigeria is a lawless society. Why would you expect Tinubu to do anything normal? Buhari did not do anything normal. He put all his family around himself. He did whatever he wanted to do. He wasn't even, why are you people even talking about 1999 Constitution? Why does he have to follow 1999 Constitution? The country is in chaos. It's in chaos. Nobody is following anything. He's going to do whatever he likes. For a Yoruba man to not stand up and be asking Tinubu to follow the law, that one will not go down well with me. Because since the time of Jonathan, nobody is following any law in Nigeria. Everybody is going tribal way. Jonathan put all his people in his cabinet. He did what he pleases him. Unless he's whatever he's maybe the people, maybe the leaders, I don't know, some people he trusted him. Nobody is following any law. Why would Yoruba people want to be a lawful in a lawless society? Tinubu cannot follow any law. And that, let it be the way it is. But my own point is say, give us Yoruba nation. Nothing can happen in that country. He's going to do whatever he wants. If anybody wants to die, let them die. If they want to live, let them live. Do you understand me? He's just experimenting. Why are you expecting him to do anything better? He cannot do anything better because his predecessors did not do anything better. And that country is gone. They're just patching lies. So that is that. So when they are ready, they will listen that we have to go. We have to go. And coming back to Chairman Mao, what I wanted to say about it's time in China. Then the man talked about why should we listen to, why should we go the way of the Western world? Former government. I've always been saying it. The thing that is good for our people is the king and his subjects. Whatever anybody wants to say is up to them. We used to have Oyomesi and the king. That is our system in Yorubala. We can fine-tune that because there's no way a nation can grow without commitment, order, and having a leadership. Look at the Emirates now. It's because they have a king, but that king probably loves his subjects. This is why they were able, because we might not, what I'm trying to say in one word, that my people, the Yoruba people, and that is their problem. And that's not going to continue to be their problem. But that is the system that could liberate us and can make us, later we can fine-tune it because that is our own system. Otherwise, even when our culture say, mind what you say, when look, don't lead you well. All we can pray for, even in any society, you need to have a leader to just pay wisdom for that lead. But when everybody is saying that, look at Britain now. In the next 20 years, Britain is not going to fit for British people anymore because democracy don't follow what it can do, and that's their business. Do you understand me? Yeah. But our own system, Mao follow. If you go and read about him, okay. They followed him into and he led them to victory. By now we can see them victorious, kind of, at least economically. And they are not even we are ranking them as one of the world powers, aren't we? Look at Singapore. So if you do not have a leader like that, that we will now be loyal, radical.
Okay, radical to the kind of whether they like it or not, even if quote and unquote it's not going to break Nigeria as we are looking for our affair, can he be radical to make that push and just push everything and then bam, and that's it? Totally radical.
If you were to be 10 years ago or 15 years ago, he has the strength.
I don't know who's coming from Nigeria to wait direct.
He has the strength, but like him now, he's in London. You know whether he's got to come to London to do. If to my home, it doesn't have the strength anymore.
London. I know those two questions I'm asking you simultaneously. Go ahead.
So I'm putting a question behind it. So probably Otutu 6.
Ew.
You understand me? We never can tell, but it was to be 10 years ago, he could call the block for whoever and do whatever he has to do. And that's the best thing for him to do.
Okay.
I be told written in the book of God in here. Otherwise, he's just gone there to go and make a fool of himself. That's the only thing. Only redeem me. Or redeem life, or could redeem our Yoruba. He should call the bluff of anybody because people call the bluff of anybody. So, why must we? Play stupid. We play stupid all the time. Why should we be lawful in a lawless society? Why? You just do whatever I want to do. I don't even want to know. I'm not about him. I'm not for him. I'm trying to say. But whatever he does, I don't care because we told everybody, let's go left. You said you were going, let's go right. You said you were going left. So come on, Nigerians, the bishop was sorry. I'm sorry. My people are part of them, and I cry daily. Thomas was sorry for me. But the majority of our people too. What I cannot even explain. So let Tinubu do whatever. It's not our cup of tea. Our own cup of tea now is that we're going to get Yoruba nation. We're going to keep on pushing. I do not expect him to do that. Okay. Dialogue, and following Chairman Mao, he was like a dictator. He wasn't really he loved his people, but he took a firm farm ground láti lè stay China síbi tó ti stay sí yẹn.
I actually they go in that direction because somebody is saying Tinubu cannot be radical. Is it too late because I want to taste life and I don't know. I'm just saying from my own point, maybe we might not be able to go through that route.
I think it could be radical. Tó bá wà pé tó bá really ronú délẹ̀ the way it used to be. Tó bá really ronú péyàn gidi, but Tinubu is too. There's too many things about him. Tinubu can be 10 faces at the same time. People that do not understand him, I pity them. It could be radical and it could be just whatever I want to be. But I think if you want to do it, about some strength, he could do it. But now I'm saying the earth is not in his side. On his side now. So a little push, one little down. But nobody really deeply meaning he can set the pace. You understand me? And now the potentially set pace in the book of the select. Láti ṣe nǹkan tá fẹ́ ṣe àtọ́ bá dẹ̀ ti ń kó rẹ̀ lọ báyìí bóyá ó máa sọ pé kí ló máa ń pè regional government àbí kò ní kálukú máa lọ kó tó lè pè é nìyẹn. So tó bá wù ú it's up to him. Thank you, my brother.
Shegoni Yami, I always love our perspective. I want to read another video that I want us to watch. The same professor here, but there's one I want us to watch. What is human cost to China's economic miracle? This video again is Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is partly funded by the Qatari government. This video was 4 years ago. What is the human cost to China miracle? Let's watch a little bit of it.
Chinese President Xi Jinping, whose government you've advised, said last year China is ready for a bloody battle against our enemies and kicked off 2019 by ordering the People's Liberation Army to, quote, prepare for a comprehensive military struggle. With who, Charles?
There's only one country that is sending warships into Chinese territory, that is threatening China with all kinds of things.
The United States?
The United States.
But whenever I hear President Trump speak, he says how much he loves President Xi and how they're great pals.
But everything that he's doing, all the executive orders, the military budget, all of this is focused on challenging China's position in the world. China has one military outpost. US has 800.
It's interesting because you say the US is a threat and threatening China and China's reacting. It's funny because the US commander on the ground in the Asia Pacific, Admiral Phil Davidson, in February told the US Senate the exact opposite. He says through fear and economic pressure, Beijing is working to expand its form of ideology in order to bend, break, and replace the existing rules-based international order.
Who's replacing rules of international order?
Did you hear that now? Sherry, somebody saying there's no sound on Olayomiko on Instagram. You are the only one saying that, as far as I can say. Maybe you need to come out and get back into the broadcast because in the Colin Sobe, there's no other person saying that on Olayomiko. It's an interesting time when you listen to international and foreign, the way things are. Cherry Boy, break it down. Cherry, I think it's the same professor, but I think it's the same guy. You can see the way he's breaking it down. It's all about domination. Some people just want to dominate the others. Oh, if you found Tukulaye, let's go back and listen to it a little bit more. In case you get to this section, I don't know whether they will leave this video there. They might ask us to mute it, but at least you can check it out yourself. It's what is the human cost to China economic miracle, head to head.
Who's cracking down on WTO? Who's left the Paris Climate Agreement? Who's challenging the agreement that's reached with the Iranians? Who? It's not China.
I mean, you can make it all about America, and I'm not here to defend Trump's America, but the reality is that Chinese hawks, independently of the US, are on the ascendant in your country. On 20th of December, Chinese Rear Admiral Luo Yuan said the Chinese Navy should consider sinking 2 US aircraft carriers and killing 10,000 US service personnel. What the United States fears the most is taking casualties. We'll see how frightened America is.
Oh, I don't take these type of comments seriously. The chance of a war between the two sides is minimal.
Last year, the Chinese government announced its biggest increase in military spending for 3 years, even though you already have a defense budget which is bigger than the UK, France, South Korea, and Russia combined. and yet you announced the biggest increase for 3 years. This is not just about words.
Oh, when the U.S. still continues to challenge, as they do, for entering Chinese territorial waters, however you look at it, the total amount it is still insignificant compared to U.S.
Significant, but you spend more than the UK, France, and Russia combined, 3 nuclear powers.
The 3 nuclear powers in terms of population, that's up to how many?
What's population got to do with your military spending? You have a big population, we know that. What's that got to do with your military budget?
Per capita spending
is... India has a huge population. They spend a quarter of what you spend.
They wish they had the money to spend more.
What an interesting time to be alive.
South China Sea arbitration. The Permanent Court of Arbitration at The Hague ruled in 2016 that Chinese claims to the South China Sea have no legal basis, and yet the Chinese continue to disregard that ruling. China is claiming more and more land, more and more resources, building more and more of these artificial islands, I think 7 so far.
China ti sọ fún UK pé kó jáwọ́ kúrò nínú Falkland Island ti Argentina.
Been upset with Chinese behavior in the South China Sea, with China taking these reefs.
All the discussion about South China Sea has been so-called freedom of navigation. When was it last time you've seen a blockage of freedom of navigation? And when was the last time you've heard the countries you've named, including Vietnam, raise an issue on China and South China Sea? It's only your friends, Americans and Australians, who are jumping up and down all over this.
It's interesting you say that, because in 2018, a bunch of Asian countries, mainly your neighbors, were asked, would it be better to have, for the world, to have the US or China as the leading global power? 73% of Asian respondents, including Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, Indonesia, favored the US versus 12% for China. Even with Trump as president, 77% of Filipinos say they prefer US leading the world to Beijing. That's pretty damning. To pick Trump over China, that's pretty damning, I would argue.
I used to work 9 to 5.
It's an interesting time to be alive. That's all I can say. There's still one more video. Let's see if we can slot that in quickly. And then we're going to start winding down. This one is called Western Liberal Democracy Will Be Wrong for China. It's again the same Professor Zhang Weiwei. And the title, in case you want to watch it, because I'm not going to play everything, I'm just going to mind your journey. This happened on the 7th of November 20. It's good that these things now is just, I mean, even some of us know how to tell about theory, but it just shows that when we are saying that they are still obeying the order. 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 Baba tún fly bọ̀ láti ibẹ̀ yẹn wá sí bíbá private meeting ṣé pẹ̀lú Charles àbí doctor àbí bàbá Ògúnlẹ́sì àbí Richard Branson ta ni Tinubu lè bá ṣe private meeting pẹ̀lú àbòfin wá rí ọmọ ilẹ̀ kan, I don't know. Kí lẹ rò pé Tinubu lè wá ṣe ní private meeting? Irú private meeting wọn ni ẹ. Ṣáwọn clubs of billionaire bó ṣe máa invest wá sí Nigeria, irú private meeting wọn ni. And if you have any details of where they're going to be, send me a message and let's go and snuff them out. Tẹ́ bá wọn bí tí Tinubu máa wà. But definitely on my idea káàkiri ni. He will not be able to travel with a big convoy. So briefly, how I move, you know. Nigeria. Let's watch this. Western liberal democracy will be wrong for China.
Thank you, Professor Woods, for your very kind introduction. We are living in an extraordinary kind of history.
Extraordinary kind of history.
Held its presidential election, and tomorrow China will hold its 18th Party Congress, which will unveil China's new generation of leaders. The Western media tends to present the two events as a sharp contrast between an opaque communist state beset with crises and a transparent, dynamic liberal democracy. Behind this very superficial contrast, is a widely held view that Western liberal democracy represents the ultimate best political system, or in Professor Fukuyama's words, the end of history. And therefore, China is viewed always as a kind of enlarged Belarus awaiting a color revolution in the transition towards liberal democracy. Short of that, China will be hopeless. But this school of thought is faced with a mind-boggling question. Its forever pessimistic forecast about China's collapse, turns to be always wrong. And after 3 decades, misplaced
30 years. After 3 decades, after 30 years.
Outside the box, to consider seriously the theme of our debate today, Western liberal democracy would be wrong for China. To my mind, there are at least 5 reasons for this argument. First, common sense.
Common sense.
Larger than the combined populations of North America, Europe, Russia, Japan, and more, with no tradition of liberal democracy whatsoever, with a fresh memory of the devastating breakup of the Soviet Union. Russia was only 1/10 of China's size in terms of population, with long memory of upheavals throughout China's long and modern history. And China's fear of upheavals is based on common sense. Indeed, the country may well become ungovernable if it adopted Western political model. China is not an enlarged Belarus. China is a civilizational state. It's the size of roughly 100 average European states. It's a product of hundreds of states amalgamated into one over its long history. An inaccurate analogy would be something like the ancient Roman Empire, continuing to this day as unified modern state with a centralized government, modern economy, all its diverse traditions and cultures and huge population that all speak Latin. To be frank, this kind of state cannot afford one person, one vote, multi-party system. Even the European Union of 27 cannot afford this kind of system. If they adopt this kind of model, it will either become a useless white elephant or end up in disintegration. Second, empirical evidence. China actually experimented liberal democracy after its 1911 Republic Revolution. But
I'm going to leave it there. Let's hear one more from your president, and then I'll start winding down. Let's hear from you.
All of us. Our diversity is an asset if we know how to use it for our prosperity. Born of the same father,
Oni baba kan náà ló bí wa.
in the same house,
Nílé kan náà.
except living in different.
Ètò yàtọ̀ ni pé yàrá ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀, face my face lájọ ń gbé ní yàrá ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀.
We must promote unity.
A gbọ́dọ̀ wá ìfẹ́ láàrin ara wa.
Economic justice.
Àti economic justice fún gbogbo èèyàn. Wọ́n dẹ̀ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún. That is Bala Blue, ìyẹn President Tinubu. But Baba Akintoye disagree pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Quickly before we wind down the program tonight. It's been almost 3 hours. Baba Akintoye sọ nínú bíbá pé I'll just read from here. But these are not all the Yoruba people have suffered in Nigeria ever intensify cauldron of inter-people's hatred. Tinubu is trying to force us to live together. How he's going to do that for 4 years, that there will be peace on the land. We hope he will be able to resolve all the problems facing Nigeria. There is a lot of undertone problem. Problem good media. you know, if you look at the amount of people to sorrow Yoruba nation, elonje ko ma jade, àwọn problem kékèké kan náà wà tó operate nísàlẹ̀ tó fẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé irú case àwọn Elza Kizaki ó ṣì wà ńbẹ̀ o. There are so many problems. Àwọn Niger Delta náà ní problem tiwọn because àsárí nísìn in tó ń try láti ní pé kí Tinubu gba contract kúrò lọ́wọ́ Tompolo 4 billion naira every month. Bí akọ́dá ìbátẹ̀wá sọ́dọ̀ tòun mú kí bàbá wa ṣí tù. If Tinubu does anything that, you know, so kò ń ṣe Yoruba nation agitation or Biafra nation agitation nìkan ni problem. It's just that the country, we are this hatred, Ogoniwa Nibe, some hey, Emaramiliti. There are so many problems within Nigeria. Problems here, Okoya to Sirawani. So Konshe Kesi or Yoruba nation now, Biafra. No, there's more than that that is going on in Nigeria that the unity Tinubu is wasting his time. Konshe Biafra is the problem. In Africa, the problem Nigeria. There's so many problems that Nigeria is facing every single seconds. Problem here, Okoja, my 12 Agege si Ojolegba kwa boss to Losono Ibo to Dekogi or Abuja. The problem is, you know, everybody's just sleeping and they're just waiting, but it will have to do what he needs to do as the president, you know, while he's still there. Under a system of limited self-government and federalism in the decade preceding to Nigerian independence in 1960, our Yoruba achieved such a great development and modernization that made our region a pace setter. We would have been like China, sending space, I mean, you know, astronaut to the space, have our own satellite. If pace have been so I put pace in last in loading scene, whether Tinubu will be able to bring that pace back with the context of Nigeria, I don't know. Whether Tinubu Mali be pace to Yoruba fin drive here, whether we will be able to do so, because Lagos is still struggling because the population is exploding. 20 million, and that's why they can't have basic toilet. Even our restaurant is going on in toilet. To buy toilet, buy to buy flush, it's because Lagos need everybody feel pay only small London. When we could develop other parts to make cushion for the problem in Lagos State, especially Ogun State, where Ogun State igba as much, Sarah. But when it's not there yet, people are still living in face my face you. And every Nigerian doesn't have access to toilet. And I'm not joking. Italoti yagbe. Jeki moto ma gbe lo nisin. Nibo ni moto park to ma park si temati yagbe. Ako nikan dúró. Ako sare fogbe. Are for me stand back. O se to ma fi fọwọ́ nko. A tún gbé wọnú mọ́tò. A tún fi touch everywhere. Jams everywhere. So, and that's why the African Development Bank, Femi Adesina, stated during the, you know, Bubu inauguration era on Shenigba Tinubu win, but it will take Nigeria 300 years. Ketole do you know what that means? Bubu Aniwa life gone. 300 years. And Mokia Omi, and also Chief Tola Deni Jekuyewa Pé 300 years. Kate add more 400 years. That is lower the 700 in 1,000 years. Yeah, we can be learning Garilla or Mulo, so big baby. Koiki Otuloro Beto to move on the program by Jotri or Loma power by you. Yeminon, a Garidem no malo by you. Should I come on Garilla Leva, Yalama Lala. 18 was at the daily pada from any signal. Yesterday, based in pada. So, Tinubu make effort láti gbé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tá à ń pariwo not Yorùbá nation but ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó wà yẹn tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ń drive tó ń fast ṣé Tinubu lè make development yẹn kó wọnú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá within the space of time kò dẹ̀ ní láti listen to any nonsense kò bí àǹtí mi ṣe sọ Buhari ò follow protocol Tinubu ò ní láti follow protocol kankan. That was how London gutter was in those days. Hygiene problem. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ìta ọ̀nà máa ń wẹ̀ níta nígbà kan ní London. Wà sáré lọ wẹ̀ kí ilẹ̀ tó mọ́. Nígbà kan omi gbóná wọnú ilé. Ṣé àwọn ilé kan wà, wọ́n ṣe change boiler system wọn. Àwọn tó ń gbé ní UK àbí ní other part tí ó tutù. Àwọn old boiler system. Nísìn, tílé ilé òtútù nísìn, I mean everywhere is quiet now. Could have been winter to inject gas or matter. And they need a lot of gas. Àwa dẹ̀ ní reserve gas tó pọ̀ jù. Ibo ló rò pé gas ẹ̀ máa ti wá? Ọ̀dọ̀ wa ni. But kò wá ṣe pé a lè fún wọn ní gas ká ṣe trade by barter. Ẹ̀yin náà fún wa ní technology yín. America ní technology tó pọ̀. Britain náà ní technology tó pọ̀. Gbogbo àwọn chip tẹ́ ń rí tó wà nínú àwọn phones yìí. Gbogbo àwọn chip yìí. Gbogbo àwọn South Korea. Gbogbo wọn ló ní different chip tó yẹ pé àwọn ló ní but tó mọ̀ pé resources tó fi ń ṣe chip yẹn Congo different places lọ sí lọ́n kó wá. So what they are doing is that wọ́n fẹ́ káwa wà ní ojú kan káwọn lè control wa and until tí a bá jáde kúrò nínú pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ control wa ṣé Tinubu máa lè face America ṣá láti sọ yẹn fún wọn ṣó lè face UK especially with the situation of things around him. So possible ṣá. Mo understand ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà ń lé tẹ́ ní ká lọ ṣe sùúrù. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tí ó pè tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan láti Scotland ẹ má yẹ ká ṣe sùúrù o. Ó bẹ́tà ká tètè máa push ká jẹ́ kí àwọn tó ń support Tinubu policy ẹ̀ pé yes policy yẹn lè make impact kékèké nílẹ̀ Yorùbá but kò ní dé gbogbo local government ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni mo sọ fún yín. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tóbi gan. Ṣé mọ̀ local government tó wà nínú Ọ̀yọ́ state I think about 33. Kí ni local government tó wà ní Ogun state? Ogun state ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wò lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan ẹ jẹ́ kí n close anyway mo fi bẹ́ẹ̀ lè broadcast náà sọ kò tẹ̀lé collapse mọ́ mi lọ́wọ́ fóònù la fi ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ lálẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ lọ mú láti Kwara state ẹ bá máa kọ́lẹ̀ o Kwara state local government. Kwara ní 16 local government. Lára local government wọn náà ni àwọn ọmọ wa ti lọ ṣe broadcast yẹn. Ǹjẹ́ ta ló wo fídíò yẹn? Problem wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ṣé mọ̀ pé local government kan nìyẹn ṣá? Ọ̀fà. Ẹ̀wọ̀n palace ọba wa. Ta ló rí palace ọba? Ta ló rí títì? That is one local. Ìyẹn láyé sọ fáwọn èèyàn tó ń sọ pé country. Mo tẹ̀rọ fún àwọn yẹn bí alọ́gbọ́ Yorùbá nation àfi bí anísìn tó débẹ̀ àfi bóyá torí pé ọmọ wa tó ń ṣe coronation yẹn ó lè jẹ́ kó gbọ́ kó mo rántí pé mo sẹ́ndì nígbà tí gbogbo àti unity ṣì wà mọ́mí wa kan nígbà yẹn wọ́n ní ká send àwọn aṣọ mo dẹ̀ ohun tẹ̀ wá sọ́dọ̀ chief ni mo wá fún ní bí a 10 or 15 mo rántí pẹ̀lú àwọn other things pé kó mú lọ sàn but ó lè jẹ́ pé within just perimeter nìkan ni wọ́n ti gbọ́ lóòótọ́ wọ́n lè máa gbọ́ olóyè Sunday Igboho wọ́n mọ olóyè Sunday Igboho but wọ́n lè máa ní understanding reason tá a ṣe sọ Yorùbá nation but kọ́ nífẹ̀ẹ́ Tinubu wàhálà tó wà lára so ní Kwara state nìkan wọ́n ní 16 local government máa kà fún yín ẹ wo palace ọba wa. Because local government ò lówó tó fẹ́ fi tún palace ṣe. Local government ò lówó tó fẹ́ fi tún palace ṣe. So ṣé ẹ̀ ń get understanding yẹn pé Tinubu tẹ̀ ń sọ yẹn development yẹn ò lè wọnú local government yín. Even nǹkan tó bá pọ́ǹpì owó tí ò sí because Tinubu need owó tó pọ̀ wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ inject not billion wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ inject trillions sínú state kankan kí ẹ lè fi ní a bit of lifestyle. A bit ni mo sọ, a bit of lifestyle. So tá bá wo Kwara State, only 16 local government. Ben Mr. Shegun Yobo, which are Asa, Baratun, Edu, Ekiti, Ifelodun, Ilorin East, Ilorin South, Ilorin West, Irepodun, Isin, Kaima, Moro, Ofa, Oke, Okearo, Oyun, Patagi. Do you know the kind of opportunity and development if we are running those? I would love to work in a local government. Automated. I'm a chef and one. One agba salary to bad she weekend while moti wa she faji low football. She ronu si yen sha. Okay, now one Kwara State as a local government to chef from any gbogbo ti mo daruko yi. So lọ́kàn yín nísìnyí fi pé gbogbo local government ẹ máa function kí Tinubu tó lọ. Mo ń bèrè ni o. Ẹ ṣé bàbá Ọládélé Ọlánìpẹ̀kun. Mo ń bèrè lọ́wọ́ yín nísìnyí pé 16 local government ẹ sọ yìí tí ó tẹ̀ ń gbérí fẹ́yìn tẹ wà ní Kwara State because a rí Ọ̀fà lẹ́nìí and ṣẹ́rí ní láti rí gbogbo Ọ̀fà within the 3 hours táwọn ọmọ yẹn fi ṣe broadcast títí dé palace ọba wa kábíyèsí mú kí n sà títí dé gbogbo bí tó fi wọ̀n mí tí mo follow tí mo rí it shows that Ọ̀fà doesn't have a local government as far as I'm concerned. Ọ̀fà is still 63 years backwards. Agbolele wa kó máa lo air condition kí iná wà níbẹ̀ kí internet wà níbẹ̀ kí basic necessity things of life wà níbẹ̀ but ó kàn máa jẹ́ agboolé tó yẹ pé a sì máa keep that structure bó ṣe wà nílé mud yẹn but a máa wá make sure pé ilé mud yẹn lẹ máa rí níta but nínú a máa ti insulate a máa change pan orí ẹ̀ a fi pan ìgbàlódé sí but a make sure pé a protect the heritage ilé amọ̀ yẹn torí pé ilé amọ̀ yẹn gangan la fẹ́ sell fún aráàta pé ẹ wá sí Ọ̀fà ẹ wá jókòó pẹ̀lú wa ẹ wá gbé níbí báyìí ṣé mọ̀ pé ẹni ẹbí àbí ìṣá ní Ọ̀fà kò kí wọ́n gan tẹ̀ tún wáìnì wọn ní ṣá ṣé ẹni Uber tí bá fẹ́ jáde nísìn láti inú ilé mi nísìn màá control Uber tí mo bá fẹ́ lo Uber màá wo bus tó fẹ́ gbé mi láti iwájú ilé mi nísìn ó dẹ̀ máa fún mi ní countdown so ṣé ẹ fi pé development tó máa wá within period tí Tinubu fi wà ń bẹ̀ níṣà ẹ máa ń tọ́ra yín kan ẹ ń tọ́ra yín àbí ẹ máa ṣe kí bọ̀rọ̀kì ẹ bá kí bọ̀rọ̀kì tán tó lóyún ẹ máa ní hospital tí mosquito wọn máa jẹ yín tó mọ̀ pé tó bá lóyún mosquito gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ okay ó máa ń ra àwọn kinní nẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn bàbá fi ìyàwó ẹ̀ sábẹ́ ó rò pé mosquito náà ti gbọ́n nígbà tí ìyàwó ẹ̀ bá fẹ́ lọ tọ̀ mosquito náà rárá wọnú ilé adúrótì tó bá wọlé á jẹ wèrè. Why are we telling lies to ourselves that Nigeria will be great? ìyẹn kan lè wà bẹ̀rẹ̀ nípa ẹ̀bùn kó ṣé ó máa change tó bá ti gba Yorùbá nation ara development ni a máa bá ní but development ò lè bá ní sí nítorí pé Tinubu need okay let's give and take èló lẹ rò pé Tinubu need Kwara State mo fẹ́ fi ṣe example lálẹ́ a lè má mú another state wọ́n ní 16 local government èló lẹ fi pé Tinubu need láti inject sínú state yìí nìkan ní figure wise ẹ ṣe ìyá mi Grace èló lẹ fi pé Bola Ahmed ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Richard Alaba mo kí èló lẹ fi pé Bola Ahmed Tinubu our president of Federal Republic of Nigeria èló lẹ fi pé need láti inject sínú state yìí tó lè fi lè dé stage bí ká má tẹ̀ mú wá sí Europe kó kọ̀ dé stage bí bí Kenya. Down. Èló lẹ fi pé Tinubu need. Tinubu needs trillions, not millions, not billions. Only the trillions. Ó dẹ̀ need a lot of expertise. Tó jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà níta tó gbọ́dọ̀ gbogbo gbọ́dọ̀ padà wá sí Kwara, especially àwọn ọmọ Kwara tó ń gbé níta. Pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà nílé tàjọ máa wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́. Ṣé mo lè dé Kwara nísìn kí n gbé Uber láti point kan sí point kan? Ṣé mo lè wà ní Kwara nísìn kí mo fẹ́ sáré dé local government kan kí n sáré board the train kó kọ̀ drop mi kó gbé mi padà tí mo timing ẹ̀? Ṣé mo pé I was almost going to go to Scotland. Well, the resources was not there. Ó wù mí kí n lọ síbẹ̀ láti lọ show yín ní protest on ṣe lénìí. Like me now, I'm coming back to Kwara. I'm a Kwara tí ń jẹ́ wa ara wọn ní bíbá. Ta ló ti subscribe sínú new channel wa? Ẹ má parọ́. I'm a free link and sit. To build to match the West, we need àwọn tó mọ̀ nípa breakdown. Diesel 1 to 3, we need about $4 to $5 trillion. Níbo ni Tinubu ti fẹ́ rówó yẹn? Olúkálùkù kàn tán rẹ̀. Ẹgbọ́n sókè ẹ bá ṣe kíákíá.
Ẹ̀lọ́ ẹ̀ka lẹ́sà.
Káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ọkọ̀ pẹ̀lú.
Ẹbí ẹ̀kàn máa ń wà láì kò sí ẹnìkan tó ti tó ní Nàìjíríà ṣe. Ọ̀nà àbáyọ kan ṣoṣo fún wa ni pé kí a gba Yorùbá nìkan fún wa, a ṣe ètò ìlú wa fún ara wa. Kò sí ẹ̀dá àlàyé kan tó lè tún Nàìjíríà ṣe tó máa dé gbogbo orúkọ mẹ́tẹ́dá kò yẹn. Kọ́mọ Yorùbá kí Tinubu ṣe kó ṣe lọ ọdún mẹ́jọ kan tó kọ́mọ Yorùbá kan tó lọ gbé èrú kan tó gbé síbẹ̀ kó dé gbogbo tẹ̀sán yẹn pátá. Ọ̀nà àbáyọ fún wa ká ṣèjọba ara wa.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo ń wo Kwara State Government. Ó ń present 189 billion naira for 2023 budget. Ṣé mọ̀ pé 189 billion tó ń provide yìí fún budget yìí? Ṣé mọ̀ pé yàn kan jí owó yẹn ní Nàìjíríà ṣá? Evidence wà now. Tá a bá tẹ̀ ní láti ṣe lọ́wọ́. Ẹ̀yin náà lè comment síbẹ̀ pé yes, Koiki yẹn kan báyìí was within Buhari government. Ṣé mọ̀ pé 189 billion ni wọ́n budget fún gbogbo Kwara State. So that means pé nínú ẹ̀ ló máa pín fún 16 local government. Let me read further. Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak of Kwara State on Wednesday presented the 2023 budget estimate before the State House of Assembly, restating the administration commitment to inclusive growth. Irolopa. They can never get any growth. Mr. Akim Eshegoni. There will never be any growth, but it's rhetorics in Tofe so talk of Ekegbo. Toba Sonny Sing, what our Yoruba radio station on Kwara. Hey, gómìnà ti present the budget wa fún ìdàgbàsókè. Ẹ lè ní basic toilet in 8 years tí Tinubu máa fi ṣe tán. Ẹ lè ní any great toilet by the time tí Tinubu máa fi ṣe tán. Màá lè sọ fún yín tí mo mean by that. In 8 years, tí bá ṣì travel láti okay, mo ti kúrò níbi tí mo kọ àwọn local government yẹn sí Kwara. Tí bá gbéra láti Ọ̀fà pé mo fẹ́ sáré lọ sí Ìlọrin South. Mọ́tò tó máa gbé mi ní after 8 years Tinubu, mo sì máa ní kó park kí yàgbẹ́ nínú igbó ni. Kò lè sí ibi tó ń pè ní service. Okay, àdọ́tiwa tá bá ń drive lọ, a máa ń pè ìkan ní service. At Mr. Peter George Moki, at in 10 kilometers, in 5 kilometers, rest area. If you do my yagbe, e ma binu enten jẹun. Àbí kó shower, àbí kó sùn, kó relax, kó to my drive. In 8 years, tí Tinubu ma fi ṣe tán, tí lè ní. Nigeria is not going to develop. But let's read the further. But what present budget? Nínú budget yẹn náà ló ti máa jí owó. Nínú budget yẹn ni wọ́n ní lówó tó yẹ kó lò tán délẹ̀ láti fi ṣe development. Mokinsa, Mr. Peter George. Let's go further. Governor presented the budget. The size of the budget is 189 billion 436 248 and then 054 with a recurrent expenditure. Economics, shall I found to one comment section to recurrent expenditure of 49.1% and capital component of 50.1%. Kini yato recurrent expenditure at the capital component. Kilon pe be. Ente wanle. Anso fi pe eje muyoya. Mr. Koiki, please, can you help me to pin your WhatsApp number because I don't have your WhatsApp number. +447404405917 or the other number, but you know, studio number. Yeah, like me tabanshi program. Yeah, end well 979. Teba sorry website ni o wa níbẹ̀ Koiki Media. So, in Timon try láti ṣàlàyé fáwọn èèyàn tí kò yé yín tí ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ òtítọ́. Gbogbo tí máa ń fi show yín pé mo jẹyin mẹ́ta ó lè jẹyin mẹ́ta ni mo sọ fún ẹ. Ẹyin mẹ́ta ó bí ẹ̀dá kò jẹyin mẹ́ta kò wá fi bread kankan jẹ kò dẹ̀ mu tea sí. Milk tó wọ́n máa ra sachet milk ni ó lè ra tin milk. Kọ́lọ̀ ń jẹ́ kẹ́ ṣeré milk mu. Kò ń ṣe pé mo fi knock yín out. It's because Nigeria will prepare anything for anybody. Bomba yo kan sọ̀rọ̀, mo menti mo bá sọ̀rọ̀. Okay, my brother ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Nigeria ò ní nǹkan kan tó ń pè ní silo. Ta ló mọ̀ tó ń pè ní silo? SILO, silo, ibi tó yẹ kó tọ́jú oúnjẹ pamọ́ sí bí ìrìn àjò àwọn ọmọ Egypt tó ní famine ń bọ̀. Ìgbà kan máa wà 7 years. Abundant. Ó dà pé bí ṣe ka ìtàn yẹn mo kí ẹ Chinedu all hey Biafra. No verse in Yoruba we dey use. We've been using English anyway since the almost 2 hours of the program. Wọ́n ní wọ́n rí nínú àlá Joseph kọ́ lọ́dún lálà. Ó lálà pé àwọn màlúù méje kan stínrín wọ́n papọ̀. Àwọn méje kan tóbi. Nígbà tó wá break àlá yẹn down fún ọ wá ń ta ló lè break àlá yẹn. Gbogbo oríṣiríṣi ń sọ kò sẹ́ni tó gẹ̀tẹ̀. Ẹni tí ọjọ́ wà nínú gáló nínú ẹ̀wọ̀n kó lè mọ̀ pé mi náà mo ṣe Christian religious knowledge ní school. At least mo láì díẹ̀ mo dẹ̀ ti gbọ́ oríṣiríṣi wáàsí oríṣiríṣi kó tó di pa wá realize pé oyè yìí ká má mẹ́nu lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn. Ìsìn láwa náà ti wá jágbọ́n pé lọ wá sí Ọlọ́run inú ẹ̀ ló wà tó bá wọn ẹni kò ṣe pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ tó bá ti mọ̀ pé lọ́kàn ààrẹ o bó bá ti pray lọ́kàn ààrẹ bọ̀ pé kí wá fi force religion ẹlẹ́yìn kan lórí you are mad. Is what we are using in bakery. Okay, I'm more commenting tell Mr. Fortunewise is what we are using in bakery. Noah and Joseph. So èyí tọ́jọ́ wà ní prison tó sọ fún pé tó bá ti jáde rán mi rántí kò rántí rárá mọ́. Ènìyàn nìyẹn. Ṣé mọ̀ páwọn èèyàn rántí pé èèyàn kan jábọ́ sómi mọ́. Ilé ayé yìí. life kan ìyẹn ló ti ṣe abandon Ìgbòho lọ́kàn ara wọn nísìnyí. Ìgbòho ò ṣe kankan mọ́, wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé Ìgbòho jáde tó fẹ̀mí ẹ̀ lẹ̀, wọ́n ti gbàgbé, wọ́n lè rántí kankan mọ́ nígbà tí bàbá yẹn tó bá jáde tèrò ń tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn kẹ̀tẹ̀ wọ́n wá sọ nísìnyí wọ́n ní kò lè jáde mọ́, wọ́n ti abandon ẹ̀. Gbowó ọ̀dẹ̀ tí rẹ̀ lómi ìgbé jáde látijọ́ tó ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ò tí ì rí ẹlòmíì. Èmi ò fẹ́ reference ẹni kankan mọ́ because as far as I'm concerned they are irrelevant. It's my energy too much on them. Ọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n tí n fẹ́ máa bá yín sọ lẹ́ǹkankan tí bá pọ̀ fi pé fi knock one out. Látijọ́ tó ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní sí wọ́n ò tí ì rí yàn kankan gbé jáde pé bí ẹni tó tún ní àyà kan nílé kan nísìnyí orí social media nìkan ló ti ní. I'm still on the budget of Kwara State. A budget of 189 billion. Òun ni ọ̀kan kó jẹ l'Abuja. So Joseph Walala, ẹni tó yẹ kó sọ fún pé ìjọ tìyẹn wá tọ́ba wá ní òun lálà ta ló máa bá òun nà níbẹ̀ aláì, ta ló máa bá òun dífà ẹ̀. Olúkálùkù sọ tiẹ̀ lọ́sẹ̀ wà rántí pé èèyàn kan wà nínú galo, òun ló fi wá jẹ ọba, ló fi jẹ pé kó wà in charge of the grains. Nigeria, come here. Jẹ́ ìṣàṣeré kan fún ẹ, má ní mo sọ fún ẹ. In the last 63 years, ní silo kankan. Bá ṣe gba owó tó lórí epo crude oil láti 1960. Sórí gbogbo owó yẹn ó wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn family Abacha. Má ní mo sọ fún ẹ. Owó yẹn wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn family Babangida. Sórí Danjuma ẹ̀dẹ̀mọ́lẹ̀ dáadáa, owó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ta ló tún wà ń bẹ̀ nù wọn? Sórí gbogbo wọn yẹn, owó yẹn owó àwọn ibi tó wà lábúrọ̀dì bíbá. Wọn kọ̀ yá wa lówó ní bíbá ni. Ní ṣe ń gbá ẹ jẹ́ mo yóò yà. Ẹ jẹ́ mo yóò yà. Máa bú mi dáadáa. Ẹ ní silo, ẹ ní reserve kankan. Pé oúnjẹ wọ́n tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ pé ọjọ́ ìrìn àbí ìrànkí Yorùbá mi ò dáadáa báyìí. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ mo yóò yà. Indomie tó máa fún yín lọ ti gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn Lebanese nígbà campaign àti election. Àwọn Lebanese ò tún rẹ́dì láti kó pálí Indomie kankan jáde mọ́. Èyí tó fi kó jáde nísìnyí tó fi tà ní. Ní silo kankan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ń tọ́jú oúnjẹ pamọ́ pé ọjọ́ tí ẹ bá mi ṣàlàyé kí ló ń pè ní Yorùbá. Ọjọ́ tí, thank you so much this one. Ọjọ́ tí kò bá sí tí government lè sọ pé ìyàn àti wàá nù ìyàn báyìí o. Má pè Ọlọ́run, tó bá pè Ọlọ́run yẹn inú máa ń bí èmi gan. Má pè Ọlọ́run sílẹ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ rárá. Sórí tó bá pè Ọlọ́run máa gbá ìtì ẹ̀. Tó bá days of drought ó ṣe òyìnbó ẹ̀ nìyẹn, ìyàn àti wàá nù ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. We are in drought. Sórí tó bá wá pè Ọlọ́run pé Ọlọ́run máa ṣe, sórí tí bá fọ́ etí ẹ̀ mọ́bi tó wà pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run yẹn. Nígbà tí Elédùmarè tó fún wa ní gbogbo nǹkan, build silo tó máa tọ́jú oúnjẹ pamọ́ sí. Wọ́n ń tọ́jú àwọn oúnjẹ kan, wọ́n lè tọ́jú ẹ̀ for 10 years. Àwọn kan wà for all depend on different grains. Tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́. So that bá ṣe wà ní stage báyìí nísìn. Ebi pa bí ẹ, ìyà jẹ bí ẹ, àwọn oúnjẹ kan wà. Àwọn American soldier tó bá ń travel lọ, biscuit mi tó bá jẹ báyìí, ó lè gbé wọn for 4 days. Ọlọ́run ló mọ tó kù sínú ẹ̀. Mo rí àmì gbé mi lékè bí a ti fàṣẹ lọ. Náà máa fún yín lálàáfíà. Owó làwa kàn kó jẹ. Dèzẹ́ ẹni ra bra gold, ilé ara mọ́tò, ilé ara dis. Akànṣe àwa náwó tààsì. mo fi nọ́ọ̀kì mo wo fídíò máa kan tó ń káàkiri wọ́n máa ń bá wọn raise owó káàkiri good initiative mo ní dárúkọ bó ti yé fídíò yẹn sì lọ viral lẹ́nìí wọ́n bá bàbá kan raise owó mo wá ní àwọn àjẹ́ ló máa kọlu bàbá yẹn ládùúgbò yẹn torí àwọn àjẹ́ kan wà nísìnyí tó ń wò pé ṣé pé àwọn aráàlú lè máa dáwọ́ tó tán yìí fún èèyàn kan ìyá dẹ̀ ń jà wá náà nínú èèyàn yín àjẹ́ máa wọnú ilé yẹn nítorí pé kò balance nǹkan ṣe yẹn is not the balanced way. Imagine kó pump energy yẹn sínú Yorùbá nation conversation with the kind of traffic tí mo rí níbẹ̀ lẹ́nìí almost 14k àwa gbé energy léèyàn kan lórí ìyẹn la wá ń bá kiri ẹ jẹ́ mo yóò yà ni mo sọ fún yín. kíákíá.
Hello, ẹ kálẹ́ o.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè torí àsìkò àti wà ní almost 3 hours.
Mo kàn fẹ́ fi kàn kún eléyìí tẹ̀ sọ pé a ní nǹkan kan wọn tiẹ̀ sí bẹ́ẹ̀ fún future. Ṣẹ́rí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ ajára wa sí. Ṣẹ́rí ẹ̀fà yẹ ká tiẹ̀ rí iwájú débi pé a máa rántí pé a fẹ́ kó kankan pamọ́ fún future. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ wò ó. Tinubu gan náà ìgbésẹ̀ tó gbé ó ti fi hàn fún wa pé a gbọ́dọ̀ kó Nàìjíríà níta tó lè ṣoríire. Ok, èèyàn sign the student loan. Ẹ̀gbọ́n bí òkè ẹ máa gbọ́ mi bí ṣe ń sọ yìí o. Ó sign student loan. Kẹ bá wo gbogbo south west àti south east. Ṣé ìyá student loan ló ń jẹ wọ́n bẹ̀ yẹn? Kẹ bá ní ká wò ó lóòótọ́. Ó sọ pé development gan kò lè ever dọ́dọ̀ wá ká bá ìpò Nàìjíríà yẹn. Tó bá jẹ́ pé adá wà ń sìn ni, ṣé ẹ rò bí pé Tinubu máa ní student loan ló kàn wá ń sìn? Ṣé ẹ rò ló máa sọ ní south west kó bá jẹ́ òun ní leader south west? Kò sọ̀rọ̀ student loan. Ó sọ pé wíwà kan as Nàìjíríà yẹn ó stop progress èèyàn. A gbọ́dọ̀ break ẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ lè sọ kò síyàn tó lè túnṣe kò ṣe túnṣe kò dẹ́ ṣe pé ayé ti ara wa bọ́lọ́run ṣe dá wa ní Ọlọ́run ò dá wa pọ̀ Ọlọ́run dá wa àsọmọ èèyàn ní ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ òbí ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ bàbá ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká lè ayé ti everybody dìbò ẹ jẹ́ ká kúrò. Ẹgbẹ́ lẹ́yìn Tinubu ń ṣe tiẹ̀ kàn ṣe tiẹ̀ ní gbogbo ilé ìbò lọ sọ pé ìyàwó mọ̀dà yẹn political talk ní gbogbo yẹn ohun nọ́ọ̀sẹ̀ gbogbo yẹn ó lè sọ lọ́tọ̀ tiwa lọ́dọ̀ àwa ọlọ́gbọ́n àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá a mọ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ tiẹ̀ ló sọ yẹn àwa ń lọ ní ilé ti yá. That's all.
Àṣẹdùmarè. Ẹ jẹ́ àpàdà sí Kwara lẹ́ǹkan sí kí tó máa lọ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Subsidy remover. Ẹ wo bí Kwara ṣe fẹ́ resolve problem tiẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ ẹ̀tẹ̀wà yẹn ará Kwara ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ni o. 189 billion ní budget. It's okay. Subsidy remover. Kwara government reduces weekly work days to 3 for civil servants. Country to it is system to work. Wọ́n wá reduce nínú 5 days. Wọ́n ní kó máa wà fúnjọ́ méjì. Ẹ máa wá níjọ́ mẹ́ta. Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. Ibẹ̀ làwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ wà ní London. More money. On Monday, met with top labor leaders in the state, appealing to them that the recent removal of fuel subsidy had been done in good faith to curb further damage to the economy to the damage. Ewanu Makima, any Yoruba nation no going back. Benny. As this smoke jari, you know me. That comes as the governor approved the immediate reduction of workers' days for the workforce in the state to lessen the impact of the subsidy removal on their earnings. Civil servants will now work for 3 days. Bishop, he knows what he's doing. He has no full salary to pay. Against authorities are expected to release further guidance on the measure. Okay, I'm Marshall Tinulia, Alaja, Sharifat, Agbabiaka, Muki Ogbain Grandma, Alaja Bangboye, Chibangboye Mukima, Alaja Barua, Mufito, Mufidaru Coin, Alaja Adeyeye, rather. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí àsàlátù káàkiri gbogbo UK ṣọ́la rẹ̀ tún lọ sásàlátù ẹ rántí kẹ́ ṣàdúrà fọmọ yín o àṣàbà Tinubu jà àdẹ̀bẹ̀ APC jà ẹ ṣàdúrà fún mi tẹ́ bá ti dá sàlátù lọ́la tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ ti dé church lọ́la kẹ́ ṣàdúrà fún mi kẹ́ni gbogbo tí mo fẹ́ lọ́kàn prayer request mi nìyẹn ẹ̀hàn kí ni wọ́n fún yín prayer gbogbo tí mo fẹ́ lọ́kàn tó ń wù mí lọ́kàn báyìí kò bọ́ sí tẹ́ bá ti ṣàdúrà yín kékeré ní ìtókù. Hey, silver gold, only king of the boys. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Peter ni àníwá jẹ mo yóò yà. Ẹ̀rí túwó gan ẹ̀ nílé jẹ́. Ó náà pa àwọn ará Kwara náà láìkí túwó. Nigeria is a complete mess. Mr. Lami Koiki, Yorùbá tẹ̀ ń kọ́ ìtì màá ó ti pọ̀jù fún mi. Mr. Lami Lẹ́kan, ẹ má fi Yorùbá yìí ṣe. Ẹ má ẹ̀ka wọn mi lọ gé jàre. Yorùbá tẹ̀ ń kọ́ Mr. Lami Koiki. Buhari ṣe jù yẹn lọ. Kò sí èrè kan tí a jẹ nínú ìjọba. Okay, mo lè kàn yẹn. Mr. Lami Koiki, Buhari ṣe jù yẹn lọ. Kò sí èrè kan tá jẹ nínú ìjọba Buhari ní ìgbà tí Tinubu tún wọlé sí tán tí Buhari ló ná tí ní Tinubu fẹ́ báyìí ṣùgbọ́n sísítẹ́ẹ̀mù náà kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ rárá. Àmàlà lẹ́fẹ́ ìrọ̀ ẹ lè fárán àmàlà táwọn ará Ìbàdàn wọ́n jẹ ṣégè náà àmàlà. Gàrí làwọn máa ń mú ti bàbá ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú Òde. Mr. Michael Idowu, inú máa ń bí bàbá yẹn ní gbogbo ìgbà ni. Tí bá rí comment wọn báyìí during and after the program. Anyway, I got to go now. Thank you so much. We hope our analysis tonight. Aki's Joy, Mukima. And Timbadaruko, maybe because you didn't comment, you're just a silent listener. Let me just drop it. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí Lagos Island, ẹ̀yin tí Tagarawu, ẹ̀yin tí phase 2, phase 4, ẹ ṣé gan ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Man Yungba. Do Nigeria respect the rule of law, unity, justice, and what have you? No love for each other, a country full of corruption and so contraction gallery. Mama Kinle consider me Folashade, Mukiwa media as well, around the clock. Mr. Latif, Olamide, Jimo Razak. Thank you so much. Mukimomi Mikemi Bello. Baba Wade Osun. Ẹ ṣé gan ni àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ nìyẹn. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ a máa jalè ìwé kíkọ láìsí ọkọ́ àti àdá kò ì pé o. Ṣé gbádùn program tèmi? Ọlọ́run fún wa ṣe, ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀. Diplomacy. Mr. Taiwo David, ẹ jẹ́ tètè a comment kí tó máa lọ kí n lè kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tí mo ti post Mel àti chairman Mo àti professor mo ti post sórí community wa lórí Facebook ó ti wà lórí Twitter náà. So we are still on suspension from one of our platforms. So back end mo fi wọnú Facebook mi nísìn, not the normal usual one. Yoruba Kid, thank you so. Hey, Kunle Bakers, bó tẹ comment mo máa ń rọwọ́ ẹ̀ wá ṣeré ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa kò ní bàjẹ́ fún mi. Mo kí ọgbà yín ti Canada lọ́hùn. Ṣé ó tuntun yẹn ti lọ́lẹ̀ díẹ̀? Mo tẹ̀ rí sister wa Kunle Bakers àwọn ti kó ìkíní yẹn. Truth and question ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀. We're on the right track. Tinubu needs to be very, very radical, show no mercy, and just let everybody go their separate ways. That will be the best thing that, it will be remembered for a very long time. Do what he needs to do, but do I believe he's going to do it? I don't think so. But we will continue to push and pressurize from the diplomatic side of things. Ní láti kó bọ̀n dání tàdé, kúkú lówó ìbọn, àbí, lówó ìbọn. But intani ni, a ní crowd. Tí Tinubu náà mọ̀ pé crowd yẹn bá jáde, èmi ò mọ̀ ní mo lè sọ nípa àwọn ọmọ Igbo, àmọ́ how prepared they are. But from the Yoruba side of things, mo gbọ́ bàbá Akintoye, mo mọ̀ bí tó ti ṣe interview yẹn lọ́dọ̀ òjíṣẹ́ ni mo ti gbọ́. He spoke very well. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ bí mo lè mú that video yẹn jáde. I think he must have just done it. Ó ní sister wa kan tó ń jẹ́ Òjíṣẹ́ TV. Wọ́n bí bàbá. Àwọn journalists yẹn máa fẹ́ fi ọ̀rọ̀ sẹ́nu bàbá yẹn. Ẹ máa rò pé bàbá yẹn stupid. Bí ṣe sọ, mo ní raising money for people is good. Don't get me wrong. Mo knock empty one raise owó fún. But in the long run, that process is not helping anybody. It's not helping anybody. So ẹ jẹ́ kí n mú fídíò yẹn jáde. Ó dà pé àwọn ará Benin ló ṣe interview yẹn fún bàbá Akintoye 2 days ago yẹn wọ́n lélẹ̀ lórí Òjíṣẹ́ mo ti rí. Advert kò lọ jàre. Wàá ṣeré Kúnlé Bakers, thank you so much. Both your program, I love you so much, my brother. Mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ gbogbo iná. Ìyàwó Amudalat, wọ́n ní Koiki ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà lẹ́wọ̀n program mi jù 42%. I'm not happy yet. Ó yẹ kó ti wọ 60. Lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà. Ẹ̀yin ará Canada ẹ̀wọ̀n program mi o. A máa fast forward ẹ̀ Òjíṣẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ kájọ wo fídíò yìí kájọ gbọ́.
Àwọn structure àṣọ ọ̀wẹ̀ ó ti di president àti federal ọlọ́run fún yẹn. Okay. Ẹgbẹ́ ìwé ẹsẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ ń gbé immediately ẹsẹ̀ tó dáa ní ẹsẹ̀ tí I don't think pé wọ́n máa rí any president mìíràn tó máa láyà láti gbé ẹsẹ̀ wọ̀nyẹn. And they are benefiting the people.
And sure.
It is leading to a great deal of hope and expectation. Ṣé bàbá òṣìṣẹ́ àkúwò nìyẹn a ṣe ń ronú pé wàhálà tí àwa Yorùbá ní Nàìjíríà a lè gbẹ́kẹ̀lé pé ó máa ṣèrànlọ́wọ́ fún wa kúrò náà ẹ̀. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀ bàbá a mẹ́nuba àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yìí báyìí ní kìíní kò pẹ́. Ìbéèrè kejì bàbá méjì nínú àwọn olùdíje fún ipò ààrẹ yẹn ni Àtíkù Abubakar àti Peter Obi ń tẹnumọ́ pé òjòrò ní INEC àti APC ṣe wọ́n sì gbé ẹjọ́ níwájú Presidential Petition Tribunal tó wà l'Abuja.
Yẹ́n fast forward yẹn ọ̀kan wá jàre.
Wọ́n ṣe gbogbo nǹkan ẹ̀yẹ́ àkàrà tí wípé.
Yẹn ọ̀kan wá.
Gbogbo election láti 1959 with the exception of only one election till 1993. Gbogbo election Nàìjíríà ló ti kọ́ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wá. Àwọn òyìnbó tó ṣe election 1959 ìdíyẹ fún ẹran àwọn northerners wọ́n ti gbin kamari ìgbìyànjú wọ́n ti gbìn sílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Nàìjíríà election láìsí ìgbìn bẹ́ẹ̀. Lórí gbogbo wọn ló ń rìn dì tó bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. Ok, ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀ bàbá fún àwọn ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé tẹ́ ń ṣe fún wa. Ìbéèrè kẹta, inú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá dùn láti gbà tí ọmọ káàárọ̀ jíire ti di ààrẹ Nàìjíríà titun. Pípọ̀ nínú wọn sọ wípé Yorùbá nation kò jẹ́ dandan mọ́ nítorí pé ọmọ wa ti wà lórí àléfà. Ojú ò lè fi rí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Ní ètò sọ sẹ́ńtẹ̀ǹsì kan tó sọ wípé púpọ̀ náà wọ́n sọ pé nídìí Yorùbá nation máa ń gbàjọ ọmọ wa ti ń ṣe president. Kò sọ́mọ Yorùbá tó ronú bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ti sún gbogbo Yorùbá.
Very intelligent man, Baba Akintoye.
Ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ti sún gbogbo àwa Yorùbá. Àtọmọdé àtàgbà àtẹnikàwé àtẹni tí ò kàwé àtọlọ́gbọ́n àti àìlọ́gbọ́n àti ọmọ kékeré àgbà. Gbogbo wa lọ́rọ̀ yóò Nàìjíríà ti sú wa. However, ọmọ wa ń ṣe president báyìí. Ẹ̀ka ẹ̀kọ́ máa ṣe. Ọmọ ẹ̀jọ̀ ń bẹ̀ àkúrò bẹ́ẹ̀. Àṣẹ tó wá padà sínú ìyá wa tá a ti.
Did you hear that?
Àwọn Fúlàní kan ò padà lẹ́yìn wa lẹ́yìn títí dè ní. Títí dalẹ́ àná wọ́n sì pààyàn ní Ìṣẹ́yìn, wọ́n sì pààyàn ní Kwara, wọ́n sì pààyàn ní Kogi, wọ́n sì pààyàn ní Ogun State. So we are in trouble, people. Wọ́n ti declare pé wọ́n fẹ́ kàwárẹ́ ilẹ̀ Fúlàní. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣètò ẹ̀. Wọ́n láti ṣe ti di ọdún mẹ́jọ táwọn kan máa lọ pé kátúrì ara farmers ló ń jà. No, it's a national plan of the Fulani. Plan tí wọ́n nìyẹn láti lé wa kúrò ní ìtẹ̀wá àbí ká pa wá rẹ́. Ká ilẹ̀ wa kó wá di tiwọn. Wọ́n padà lẹ́nu ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe ń pààyàn títí dalẹ́ àná ni mo sọ fún ẹ yìí. Títí dé alẹ́ àná.
Ẹ ṣe púpọ̀ bàbá. Ìbéèrè kẹrin ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọdún tàwa yìí nínú ìfọwọ́wá ọ̀rọ̀ kan tí ẹ yọ̀ǹda fún Gulf TV Africa. Ẹ sọ wípé ìjà òmìnira wa kò lòdì sí ẹ̀yà kọ̀ọ̀kan. À ń jà láti gba ara wa kúrò lórílẹ̀‐èdè kan ní Nàìjíríà tó ti forí ṣánpọ́n. Ṣé lóòótọ́ Nàìjíríà ti forí ṣánpọ́n báyìí? Ẹ ṣàlàyé fún wa.
Ṣé ẹ rí àwọn politician wọn lè gbà? Ìdí tí wọn fi lè gbà mí ò fẹ́ sọ báyìí torí ọmọ wa ló ń ṣe president wọn. Bọ̀ wọn ní gbà pé Nàìjíríà ti tán. Kò sí ẹ̀yà kankan ní Nàìjíríà tó lè sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́. Kí ló tó kù lẹ́yìn yẹn? Àwọn middle belt ń ṣètò country tiwọn lọ́wọ́.
Highly intelligent man.
The other peoples of the South wọ́n ṣèjọba tiwọn lọ́wọ́. Àwọn Ìgbò lérí tiwọn wọ́n ń pariwo ẹ̀rẹ́ pẹ́tẹ́tẹ́. Àwa Yorùbá à ń ṣe tiwa ní ọgbọ́n àti òye tọ́ náà fún àwa. Sí lọ́wọ́ kò sí Nàìjíríà, àwọn òwe kò síbẹ̀. Kò sí Nàìjíríà mọ́ ó ti forí ṣánpọ́n ó ti finish.
Bàbá ìbéèrè karùn-ún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá àti olóṣèlú Yorùbá lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ń wá appointment nínú ìjọba Tinubu. Bàbá Tinubu sì ti ṣe ìlérí wípé Nàìjíríà kò ní pín lásìkò tiwọn. Báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ negotiate fọwọ́wé ọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba Nàìjíríà?
Ní ṣe nǹkan tó máa hot ọmọ tiwa. Ní ṣe nǹkan kan tó máa dẹ́rù bá. Ní ṣe nǹkan kan tó máa bí nínú. Ṣé ó ti yẹ? Ṣùgbọ́n a ò gbé ìjà afẹ́ kúrò Nàìjíríà a ò gbé pọ̀. So gbogbo ọgbọ́n tí Ọlọ́run bá fún wa àti àdúrà tá a bá ń gbà pé Ọlọ́run bá wa ṣètò wa kó gún ká lè jáde kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà ultimately stop ẹ̀ o.
Àmọ́ kì í ṣe nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe ní kíákíá mọ́. Ṣé pé nígbà kan agbọ́n pé
Ọlọ́run ló mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ kíákíá. Ó sọ pé a fẹ́ ṣe ní kíákíá. A fẹ́ ṣe you go before God ẹ lọ síwájú Ọlọ́run ẹ kọ́lẹ̀ ẹ gbàdúrà wípé nǹkan báyìí ni mò ń fẹ́ bàbá jọ nǹkan báyìí làwa fẹ́ báyìí làwa Yorùbá fẹ́. Òun ló mọ̀ gbà tó máa ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ kíákíá yẹn ò kàn wá. The human being cannot decide kíákíá.
And that is of a forest and my buying. Our journalists, they are very, very tricky. But Baba Gentoni IQ to pop. So that's how far I can go. Thank you so much to everyone that have joined the program. I can see it's already telling me it's 3 hours on the dot. Appreciation to each and every Mr. Moki Omode Inua Moki Ento Jagbalagba Inua. Okay, until it mi bá sọ̀rọ̀ àtẹ̀ntó tẹ̀lé wa bá sọ̀rọ̀ fún time tí ẹ̀ ń spend pẹ̀lú wa ẹ̀ tuntun gbọ́ assurance láti ẹnu bàbá ẹ̀yin abẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ìkíkí ni way forward. The way forward is we are still on the right track. That's all. Àgbọ̀n kankan mọ́ ìwọ ló gbọ́n kankan mọ́ ọlọ́run ń jẹ́ kó gbọ́n kankan àwa sì ń gbọ́n kan ìta ń gbọ́ ni pé Yorùbá nation àwọn tó náà ń ṣe government Normally, government gbọ́dọ̀ máa run. Baba break in Nigeria, no. Government máa run títí gbogbo transition máa padà sí ibi tá fẹ́ kó wà. So bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn, Koiki, àárín kankan tó ń lọ mọ́ is because ẹ̀yin lẹ fẹ́ rí. Activities is going on. Gbogbo yín ò focus. Gbogbo yín, ibi kan lẹ́ẹ̀kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sí. No, olúkálùkù máa sọ̀rọ̀ from different. Ìyẹn la ṣe pé ní medias. Ní media. Ìyẹn mi máa sọ̀rọ̀. Ó máa yàtọ̀ sí tọ́dà máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. But gbogbo ẹ̀ is still falling back to pé there's a country called Nigeria. It has failed everyone. Shalom. Bí àṣà grammar comfort máa sọ. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o. It is Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. I can't go without saying thank you so much to my family, my mom, my wives, my children, immediate and extended, and the rest of you. Àtẹni tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ wa, èmi kọ́ ni problem ẹ̀. Ìyàn lẹ́wà nú ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, ẹ jẹ́ mo yóò yà. Ó dàbọ̀. Iṣẹ́ wà orílẹ̀-èdè kágbéga ìgbàgbọ́ àti bí ẹrú ká ṣiṣẹ́ kájọlá ìṣọ̀kan ní kẹjẹ́ tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Odùduwà, ẹ jẹ́ ká bọ́ sípò. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo Odúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo Adúláwọ̀. Bishop Adesina Mukiyankan Muki lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí YSDM Global Directorate Ìlànà. I think they're having their town hall meeting. It's going on, but everybody is doing the best for the movement in our little and the big way. Tomorrow, Sunday broadcast. For now, enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye for now.